Hello everybody and welcome. Apologies for the slightly later start than I planned, but we had a few technical difficulties over here. But I hope you're all doing very well. I'm going to be having the first match on Summer Song up against Void and Mixer, who came through to the semi-final of the BattleMania Season 3 Week 2 multiplayer tournaments. So I'll be starting off with both of those, and it's probably going to be going Greenskins. So we had Greenskin, Baron VC and VP. And of course here, there was Lizardman available, but we are going to be seeing Greenskins up against Greenskins. So we're going to get Greenskins nice and quickly out of the way here, and we should see some really cool matches here between these two Titans. But I hope everybody is doing very well today. Apologies, I'm not really sure what's going on with YouTube today. There was a few technical errors here for YouTube, and there's a few technical errors for other things I was trying to sort out as well. Let's just hop in here, make sure we're all good. Yeah, so there we go. So we should be hopping in. I hope everybody's well today. How are we all doing? Hopefully you can all hear me quite well, see everything quite well. So Void and Mixer, two very strong players, going to be going up against each other. It says I have no data here. Can you guys? Are you guys able to see the stream? I don't know if you can see the stream very well. Lost to Norska versus VC. Norska has some good stuff up against VC for sure. Ah, there we go. Looks like it's kicking in now. So hopefully, CJ, are you able to hear me and see me? See me? I don't know if you can do both. The game seems to be doing absolutely fine. Ah, there we go. Excellent connection. Okay, good. Not sure what's going on with YouTube today. YouTube seems to be being extremely weird today. Yeah, it's normal. Cool. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've had a couple of days of just weird YouTube, but I'm not really too sure what's going on there, to be quite honest. But had a few things to say to you guys at the beginning, but we didn't get a chance. So we'll say it after this game. We'll hop straight in as the players are waiting, and try and crack on with this. I got murdered in the first round. Obviously, need to work on choosing my matchups. What's the matchup, Parkerilla? What did you get? Who were you playing against? Let's have a little look. So you were playing up against RTK Kafka. He's a very good player. He's a good player. He's a good player. Everything is good. Thank you for Poland. Thank you. Thank you. So we're coming on Sunday. So just to let you guys know, for the last 2 days I worked 31 hours. So I worked 16 into 15 hours. So I'm pretty tired. But I wanted to bring BattleMania this week. I wanted to make sure we could still get the tournament going, because also next week is looking a bit here and there as well. So let's hop into it. So we're going to have the red here for the Greenskins, which are going to be Mixer. He's going to be having 3 units of Golden Spider Riders in the front line for the nice poison, and the triple just normal Spider Riders with those spears. So there's also going to be another one on the back, so we're going to have 4 Spider Riders with spears, and we're going to have some shock cavalry. So we're going to have the Orc War Boys, just for that armor piercing, so some very good shock cavalry, with some cheap gobbos here in the front line, and the triple Savage Orc Biggins here in the back. So we're going to have one hero and a lord today. We are going to have the Goblin Big Boss on top of his wolf. Now you can have him on top of a spider or a wolf, but if you're on top of a wolf, he does have the nice 92 speed. He's not quite as tanky and doesn't have poison either, but he is faster and a little bit cheaper. He will be having nearly stabbing, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason he's been brought today. He also comes with encourage, which is quite nice, just to help those weaker leadership units. And for the Lord choice, we'll be having a Goblin Great Shaman here on top of this massive Arachnarok Spider. Fantastic design unit here. And if you can hop on here, he has quite a few items, so don't even try it. Quite a nice ability there, as well as Crown of Command, Arcane Conduit, Vindictive Glare, then you need Stabbing, and of course, Sneaky Stealing. So for the Greenskins of Void, we're going to have quite a few units here. Looks like we have some Gobbers in the front line, mixing with some Savage Orcs rather than the Savage Orc Biggins. Looks like we have a couple of Biggins as well, so it's the normal Spider Riders with some Spider Rider archers. Looks like there's going to be less archers here on the side of Void, but he will be having a more expensive front line with the 8-peak loonies, as well as some Savage Orc Biggins, and yeah, the Goblin Big Boss as well. So the Goblin Big Boss will be here on top of his Spider Rider. So he will be a Spider Rider today with that nice poison and they need stabbing. We'll be having Grom the Paunch with all of his items today, as well as the Orc Shaman with, looks like Here We Go, as well as Brainbuster with the Scroll of Shielding. It's like lots of Savage Orcs and Savage Orc Biddens, a couple of Spider Riders and Spider Rider Archers. The issue here is a lot more skirmish cavalry here on the side of Mixer. The front line is nowhere near as elite though. Dark Elf was Wood Elves. Yeah, that's not a great matchup for the Dark Elves, I'm afraid. Not normally. Who did he ban when you were the if he was the Wood Elves? Who did he ban? Let's have a look. So he's going to be shooting in here with quite a few different units. Just going here, so the front lines are going to be smashing together. So we have some Savage Orc Biggins. Here we go as well. That 40 man attack going to be really good here, because they're also going to get it on the Goblin Big Boss as well. For the one in the middle here. So you've got Mixer. Oh, Mixer has the double Goblin Big Boss. Okay, I didn't see both of them, but he's going to have to be having two here. Brainbuster going down on top of the Orc Boys here. But it looks like a sneaky stabbing going in this area of effect for Mixer as well. So it's Here We Go up against They Need Stabbing. Evil Star will be online. But yes, as we can see in the front line, we do actually have Mixer's side winning over on this right-hand flank. Although Wild will be going off here. That's for both sides. So Wild will be immediately going off for both sides. Interesting stuff. Obviously, it's going to be a map-wide killing, so I believe it goes even for both sides. I think it's the amount that have died. Yes, it'll be current points on damage. Those Savage Orcs here fighting up against the cheaper Goblins. Goblins are still pretty well, because you do have some naked Savage Orcs here. They do have that physical resistance and immune to psychology, but as you can see, they're going to be trading relatively effectively. But so we have lost one Goblin Big Boss, has been shattered here from Mixer. Balance of power relatively even, but this Goblin Great Shaman will be holding a lot of balance of power, but so will Grom the Paunch. Not shielding go down, but he will have that regen that you won't be having here for the Goblin Great Shaman. Grom will be chasing with the Void with the Savage Orc Biggins coming after this big Spider, and the Spider Riders are going to have to get involved. The Archers are going to have to get in, poison, and get out again. But you're going to have to block here for the Goblin Great Shaman. Over here on the right, we do have a couple of units fighting up against each other. It looks like Void's Goblins are going to be getting routed here, as well as his Savage Orc Biggins going to be, from Mixer, going to be fighting up against his Spider Riders. Not a very good matchup there for Void. This is a bit of a melee match here in the middle, and as you can see, just units fighting up against units. Savage Orc Biggins up against all Biggins, and it's going to be getting a little bit tough here from the infantry side of Mixer. Not as much infantry or elite infantry here as Void Lols. But how is he going to deal with the skirmish cavalry is the question. Wild going off both sides yet again. Both utilising Wild the second they get it to make sure they get their maximum amount of value here from both ends. As you can see, we have these sneaky boys coming through here. Look at that, some good damage value here coming from the 8-peak loons with their fanatics. Really, really good work there. And they're so awesome. I love them in lore, they're brilliant. But this one, the Spider Riders from Mixer are going to be getting broken. Not too much support left here for the Goblin Great Shaman from infantry point of view, but there's a lot of skirmish cavalry. But as you can see, the Orc Boys here are going to be struggling a little bit in the pocket. They are going to be fighting up against the Goblin Big Boss, but he will be having that poison. Also being on the Spider gives him a little bit more armor, but not too much. The Orc Shaman will do pretty well in hand-to-hand combat. He's not terrible. 38 melee attack means he will punch relatively hard. 310 weapon strength. He's not the best melee combatant, but he can hold his own. He can hold his own for sure. We also have a shattered unit of Savage Orc Biggins here from Mixer, and the front line just going to be coming through now for Void. Good challenge here up against the Goblin Great Shaman. Pretty much anything they can catch that is going to be Grom here on top of his chariot. And it's like he's going to be getting changed. With those shots here, he's going to be getting poisoned as well from the Goblin Great Shaman with that missile strength. In the pocket, these boys are going to stay nice and close together. I think they need stabbing from the Goblin Big Boss. This Goblin Big Boss does need to stay alive. It's going to be very helpful at reducing the armor and melee defense here of the Goblin Great Shaman here on top of his Spider. It's also nice vindictive glares down there going up against Grom. This is where the battle's going to come down to. Can Grom get enough? So Axelron going down, as well as also Lucky Banner. All comes down to this fight here. Looks like they need stabbing, so some brilliant stuff, some good combinations here coming from Void to really reduce here up against the Goblin Great Shaman, reduce him as well as improve Grom. It looks like we are going to have a sneaky stabbing and kind of command going down, decreasing that AP and melee, but also Grom is going to be able to punch through all of his weakness. And you see the Orc Shaman will be coming through. Does he have enough for Here We Go? Get that plus 40 melee attack as well. I think that's where it's going to be one here if you're not careful, because that Goblin Great Shaman is going to be struggling, and the Spider Riders have some really weak leadership, and there it is. They're going to be shattering left, right, and centre due to damage done, as well as losing to balance of power. But really, really well played here to both sides. But I think the difference here being Grom. Grom's ability to regen over the Goblin Great Shaman was probably the winner. You can see 1.4k here for Grom, 800 damage value for the Orc Shaman, and that doesn't include Here We Go as well. That won't be factored in, and 403 damage value for the Goblin Big Boss. The front line did okay. Yeah, so not too bad here. 90, 80, look at that, 733 for the Savage Orcs. I actually don't utilise Savage Orcs as much as I should. They're actually a really, really good unit when War is popped. The only difficulty for them, of course, is magic damage. But yeah, 422 and 204 with 360. But it's like a 1.35k damage value for the 8-peak unit. A phenomenal unit. If you get at least 2 Fanatics off, you're getting at least 1,000 damage value if you put into the right area. But 4 units of Savage Orc Biggins here for Void, getting 600, 1,000 there, and 73, 86 for 940, as well as 144 kills for 1.2. So that front line there just doing a little bit better here up against the front line of Mixer. But 277 as well as 380 here for the Spider Riders, 300 and 150. But we went more Spider heavy here, as you can see, 300, 260, 270, and 250. So not really getting the value you would expect here from the Spider Riders. They normally pay for themselves quite well, but obviously when going up against Greenskins, there's just so much chaff to shoot through. There's not too many key targets for them to shoot, and even then they've got to get through the physical resistance of the Savage Orcs, etc. But as you can see there, 163 for 1.1, 108 for 1.1, 152 kills, 900. They would have been slicing apart gobos for sure. But 388, 250, and 290. I think the infantry was better placed here for a Mixer, and it obviously got the better engagements. But as you can see, one Goblin Mid Boss got sniped, and the second one here not doing so well. So 2,000 damage value here from the Goblin Great Shaman. So we'll play to both players, and we'll be moving on to the next one. Apologies, guys, I just got a call. So we're going on to Astillion 2. Let's go on to Astillion 2. Perfect. Right, let me just check that's not a problem. Perfect. Alrighty, so let's hop in with you guys. Apologies for that. Just got called by work. I got muffled in the first round. Yes, you said you played. Dark Elves into Wood Elves. I believe that's quite. What's up, Big Fawn? What's up, Black Fawn? How you doing, bro? How you doing? Yeah, I think you were right there, 4.0. I think Grom was the difference in that matchup. I beat Empire as TK though. Yeah, I like that for TK against Empire. Empire have some good tools though. They do have some good tools for sure. Yeah, it is always Greenskins cater, but like this is the competitive side for my tournament. So this is the competitive one. BattleMania is the competitive one. Just to let you guys know, I've got at least 3 tournaments next week, maybe 4. So I've got 3 fun tournaments, and then BattleMania. So BattleMania is the competitive one, and the other 3 are fun. Come in, and hopefully you should see some different things. Apologies, I'm a little bit flustered here at the moment. There's quite a few things going on that are causing a bit of a problem today. YouTube has been hanging here during. YouTube was a pain. The other day I tried to upload a video, and it just wouldn't let me upload it. It's been a bit weird over the last week. Yeah, I believe I don't know how everybody else was in the chat, but Dark Elves into Wood Elves. I feel that's pretty heavily Wood Elf favored because most of the infantry can be comfortably won by Wood Elves. I think they win the infantry fight. You can go very wide as the Dark Elves, but Skirmish Cavalry you win if you're the Wood Elves. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty Wood Elf favoured, I think. Maybe not massively, but I think it's heavily Wood Elf favoured. For sure. I think if you're going up against Wood Elves, like Fire Magic's pretty good, like Burning Head, etc. Who did he ban? I'd be interested to know, Parkerilla, who he banned. Yeah, that was my thought, CJ. They just get outranged, like, for example, if you... pretty much all archery is better, all frontline is better. Pretty sure most things are better, actually. Alright, so it looks like Void is going to go VC, Bam, HE, and Brett. So, Dark Elves, yeah. Nice to see some Dark Elves. I like to see some Dark Elves. Yes, so the next tournament will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and then maybe Thursday, Friday, depending, or Thursday, Saturday. So should hopefully have some coming, which will be nice for you guys. This is Norska time, says Catan. I actually like Norska into VC. I think it's slightly VC favoured. I think it's 55-45, but it's still pretty even. But then I like VC. VC has some really terrible matchups. Like, I'm surprised that Wood Elves was not picked here by Mixer. Because, like, Wood Elves is a really good counter to... But Astilian Tomb's a relatively small map. So, maybe not. It's difficult to say. So, I think with Void, you have lots of armor piercing here from Migsa. You probably want to go nice and wide, good chaff. You don't have much infantry options. I think actually just normal Graveguard could be pretty good here. Graveguard will beat all the infantry apart from maybe Hagenaf Executioners. So it's like Void is ready. How you doing, Legion? Oh, is that in regard to how to, how you doing, Caradoc, man? Nice to see you back. Instincts said it's Wood Elf favoured, but instincts tell me to pick aspiring champions. Yeah. That makes sense. If you do a... I could do that for you, Parkerilla. So you'd like me to do like picks and bans, like what are commonly banned against certain factions, and then what are commonly... So like if I did a 10-minute video about if you, let's say you're the Greenskins, what are your bad matchups and why, what are your good matchups and that sort of thing. Is that something you'd want? Because I'm happy to do that. You know, it's like a newer player guide that gives you an understanding of the problem is it's the current meta. I think the current meta will change when the new DLC comes out because there will be some changes. Are we waiting for cast? Yes, so I'm just waiting for... oh, how did you get on? Did you... Oh, you beat Rubber Duck of War. Oh, interesting, Caradoc. How did... what happened there? What was the game? You beat the big ducky legend. What happened? What happened? But you will be facing against Katam here in the final. Okay, so Katam up against Caradoc for the other semi-final. Mixer and Void here, of course. And Legion, you were saying it's hard to argue, in fact, it's not the worst matchup because the wood maps are common and what else is it? So you're saying it's... So you're saying that for Dark Elves, Wood Elves is their worst matchup, Legion? Is that what you're saying? But like, arguably their worst matchup in the game. Or are you saying for VC that Norsca is their worst matchup, arguably? Because I've seen a lot of VC players win as Norsca. Sorry, I've seen a lot of VC players win against Norsca. But there's some cool things you can do with Norsca, I think, that can help counter. Like Ducky had a seriously good game up against Evenstar in the last BattleMania. Yeah, send me the replay, Caradox, send me the replay. I am saying VC are not favoured into DE. Oh, yeah, no, of course, yeah. For this matchup, I feel like there's lots of armor-piercing options here for DE. That's why I think you struggle as the VC here. Also, he didn't ban Wood Elves, which really surprised me. His options of ban are kind of surprising for me. Oh yeah, in regard to your question, CJ, I actually have a list of those that I'm casting. So the way I operate is I'm very, very fortunate. Thank you to all of you guys. You send in all of your replays. I've got a backlog now of quite a few, and I go through each one now. So before I was just, if you sent me one, I'd go through it, play it, and some of you send me a couple, so I picked the one that, let's say I've done Dwarfs last, I won't do Dwarfs again, I'll do something different, but if you sent me 3, then I will pick one and cast it. But I go in order. I go in order of when you guys send it to me, so that it's, I try and get as many people on the channel as possible. So when it comes to, I've got your game in a slot, so you'll be, you're a couple down from where I am at the moment. Okay, so you're gonna play on the Stylian Tomb. I really like this map. There's some good trees you can use. There's some good mobility options, some good hiding options here as well. It's relatively flat, a little bit raised on either side, but it's pretty comfortable. I like this map. I think it's relatively balanced. Also, if you've got the back corners here as well that some people like to utilize, I think here's the actual corner. You can actually utilize this backside if you want to do a bit of a sneaky play, maybe with some hounds or any other sort of vanguard units you've got. Would you say it's bad for Dark Elves, or would you say it's bad for Wood Elves, Legion? Because I wasn't too sure. I'm not too familiar with that matchup. I would generally see, just from my knowledge of both factions, I could see that being bad for the Dark Elves, more so than the Wood Elves, because the outrange, the infantry isn't quite as great, so yeah. Oh yeah, the quad gyro ones against my TK. I actually sent it to Ducky so he could watch it. As a cool game. He watched it. He liked it. Yeah. And I also sent in our vampire game with me as the dwarfs. I might cast that vampire game. I might cast the vampire counts game against. Are you? It's bad for Dark Elves. Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. Might very well be their worst matchups. I think Greenskins is their worst matchup. Then closely, if Greenskins get sorted, then I think Wood Elves will be their worst matchup for sure. Oh, we got the Chillgeists. I love that. So let's go with the Dark Elves. So that's what we have, the double black dragon in the sky here from Migsa. I like it a lot. We have an elite unit of Blackguard of Nagarond with some Black Hawk Corsairs and the Harganoff Executioners in the pocket, with some Dread Spears as well as the Dark Riders Repeater Crossbows. 115 range, and they have some good armor-piercing missiles. So it looks like we're going to be going over here. So maybe a little bit of a big elite over here. So we have the Harpies, but not, and Wrathy in the sky. So instead of the double Manticore, we're going to go the double Black Dragon. Probably looking at some of those breath attacks. And of course, no range here. Looks like he wants to dominate the sky, which is absolutely fine. I think it's a good way of doing it. For the Von Carstein Lord will be in the sky here on top of a Hellsteve, the 105 speed. Can anything catch him? 105 from Marathi, 90 from the Black Dragons. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Let's hop in with the Von Carstein Lord. So he will be having the Nightstorm, Undeath Resurgence, Charmed, Flock of Doom, Raised Dead, Dance Macabre. Yes, so Dance Macabre will keep him alive. But in the back we'll have, ooh, okay. So we're going to have the ROR Skeleton Warriors for that poison. We'll also be having some Graveguard great weapons and some Sternsman with great weapons. So lots of great weapons. The Black Coach and the double Necromancer here. So the double rod coming in, stroking all over the place. as well as Gaze of Nagash, Master of the Dead, of course, and the Vigorous Mortis. No magical spells over here, but you're still going to have the Rod, etc. But he also have that regen, so he will be able to keep giving that off. The Black Coach as well, and we'll have some just cheap zombie front line. I don't think we see the ROR here. No ROR. Okay. So interesting stuff. Don't know how this is going to fare. And of course we have the... Let's get on these guys. These guys are such a wicked unit. I love the Ethereal Hex Racer. These are the chill guys, the ROR. And they will be having quite the cool item, which is the Chilling Aura, giving that negative 36% speed. And obviously having that 75% physical resistance. And that's really cool terror. Some good AP as well, so that's quite nice. But they are pretty quick and they are very expensive. So it looks like they actually have their ability. So VC have that ability, which is basically Tempest. And that's like Gaze. Oh, Gaze going down, doing some big damage up against the Black Dragon. Really good stuff early doors here from Void, getting some good damage value. No healing here from the Dark Elves as well. So it's going to be, apart from Soul Stealer, of course, from Marathi. Soul Stealer on top of the Chill guys, if they do get pocketed up, could be really nice. Really, really valuable. But we obviously have some Graveguard here in the forest, and we're often going to get those breath attacks here coming from the Black Dragon. So it's going to be some expensive damage here for sure. Void needs to keep these units moving. They are very slow, but yeah. So they're not in the forest, but they don't necessarily have to be moving as long as the Black Dragons are attacking. There is an attack animation of Marathi after the Van Carstein Lord, but the Van Carstein Lord can't be caught. I think here they could be in trouble. I think Void could be in trouble here for sure. What's going down here up against the Black Dragons? Is there going to be another Gaze? It is going to be another Gaze. Let's see what happens here. Big hits coming out the pocket. So half damage already. Really, really good work from the beginning. And as you can see, the Von Carstein Vampire Lord is in some serious trouble. So big breath attack here down the flank of the Graveguard Great Weapons. And these boys and girls do need to start really moving here over to this pocket. This is where it's all going to come down to. It looks like the Harpies are going to be getting onto the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. But as you can see, is he going to get away? Is that Dance Macabre going down? Is Charm Shield going down? That's going to be a damage resistance 22% and the shield parry. What's the next target? Are they going to be coming after these Skeleton Warriors? Looks like they're going to be charging heavy with the Graveguard Great Weapons. Did the Dark Riders overextend there by mistake? I'm not too sure about that. But they're going to be getting caught here by the 94 speed of the Chill Geists. Nice breath attack there would have been good on top of the Wraith there. But as you can see, a very nice... I've actually forgotten what the spell is called. I'll have to check that in a moment here from Marathi. They're going to be chasing each other 105 speed each. Let's get on top of Marathi here. I forget. No, sorry, it's on the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. What is the spell? Should be in here somewhere. Knight of the Storm. It's basically so Knight of the Storm will be their equivalent to slowing there in the sky. But the black dragons are going to be doing some good work. Maybe trying to see if they can help push off. But look, yeah, some good movement there from the Dark Riders. Get those off the map. Some nice AP there with that mobility. It does mean that we are going to have to attack with Mixer here. Just going to double check that he is engaging. So he is engaging using Marathi, and Void will be running away using the Von Carstein Lord. Also, another nice spell here going down on the Black Dragon. The Black Dragon's taking a big punch to the face here. That's lots of Winds of Magic, but also you have the double rod coming out, which means you're having lots of Winds of Magic there for some damage up against these regenerating units. But if you're not careful, you could really lose a Black Dragon here, and that's something you really don't want to do early on. And these are massive hitboxes, so if you overcast them as well, you don't mind the extra damage coming through, and you just keep stroking those rods. It is going to cause damage to self, but that regeneration there in mana is going to be very important. But these Chill guys are going to be busy. If the Chill guys do actually manage to... Oh no, they're going to be getting hot too by the Dragon. They do have a nice 94 speed, but as you can see, just Marathi doesn't have magic damage. So, yeah, interesting stuff. So not too sure, but the Graveguard Great Weapons with the Stonesmen could do some very good damage here up against the units. But it looks like they're going to be just reducing them at the front line, using the zombies to fight in melee. Just reduce the vigor here from the Hargonauts, etc. Hargonauts will win, for sure, up against Graveguard. Even with the Great Weapons, I believe. So there we go. We are going to be seeing a nice Soul Stealer going down. Just a Hill, Marathi, etc. But definitely some good magic damage up against the chill guys. But it looks like Invocation hit going down. Another Storm here going on top of the Black Dragon with a big hit coming through from the Von Carstein Lord. As you can see, some really good damage values down to 950 HP. The game is going to be struggling. Looks like we're going to be struggling here. Maybe somebody has dropped. Don't know if this is me or not sure what's going on here, I'm afraid. Oh, cheers, Garadon. Thanks for sending that in. What's going on here for the game, I don't know. I think somebody's been dropped, unfortunately. Not sure what's happened to the... Not sure what's happened, Void. Was that me that's dropped out? It looks like it is me, I think. It could well be me. Yeah, so it would appear that my game has crashed. That's the first time ever that's happened. That's not good. Okay. Okay, it would appear that my PC has decided to completely... okay. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to reset, which means I think it's going to shut down my stream, unfortunately. So bear with me, guys. My game is stuck at least. Yeah, let me kick myself out. I'm going to have to restart my PC, I'm afraid, guys. I'm sorry about that. Oh, no, maybe I can... task manager... No, it looks like my whole PC's just gone down for some reason. I've been having problems with my PC, to be fair. I can't kill Warhammer either. It looks like I'm stuck. You'd love to think my PC is a potato. I spent a lot of money on this thing, and I do entirely think it's my fault. But I'm gonna try and rectify it so we don't lose this game. Were you kicked, Void? Right, there we go. Yeah, so it looks like I actually can't get onto it for some reason. Alright, sorry guys, I'm going to have to restart everything, I'm afraid. Right, give me a second. Sorry guys, this is going to be an absolute pain. Give me a moment. Alright, can anybody hear me? Can anybody see me? I don't know if this is continuing or not. Thank you very much. Thank you for the welcome back. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that sucked. Apologies, guys. That's never happened to me. I don't know what happened there. I'm really sorry about that, everybody. I really don't know what happened. That's not happened before. Right, let's get them both back in. You are not online, Mixer. I cannot see you, buddy. No, I can't see you. Right, so I think we have an option here. So we were on a Stylian tomb. Now what we can do is we can replay it with exactly the same armies, or I can get them to pick and ban again. So it's like Mixer's in. Let me just message the guy. Who won? Nobody. Oh, what did that not go through? Ah, there you go. Okie dokie. Hey, Zypher, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. I really apologise for that delay there. That was not good. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to pick and ban again, I think. So, for example, we had Greenskins, so now Void, unfortunately, can't be VC up against Dark Elves. We'll see what Void wants to do. It's a weird one. Because the problem is now, Mixer now knows what Void is going to bring. He now knows all the important stuff he needs to know, and he can probably counter it pretty hard. I'm just going to talk to the players and see what we can do. Somehow, every time I join, things go wrong. No, not at all, bro, not at all. So what happened was, it seems to be that there was a spell going on and then my game crashed. I don't know why. It's never happened to me before, and I've streamed over 100 times now. It's never crashed on me before. So that was a bit annoying. I don't think it's fair to say that. Okay. So we can play again with new armies, or we can play again with new factions. I think that's fair. I think Void was certainly winning at that point, and I think the surprise element from Migsa will now be gone. He now knows what to expect. It was not impossible. That's correct, Billington. That's why I just retracted what I was about to say there. Okay. Okay, so I believe... Yeah, it's Void to pick and ban. Alright, let's hop back in with you guys. I'm back. How you doing, Blackthorn? You doing well? It is 1-0 to Void at the moment. The game crashed, unfortunately, on my side, which has never happened to me before. So we'll just be hopping back into it now. So coming back to the next BattleMania and the next tournaments, I think we have 4 tournaments next week. I think we're going to be having Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe either 2 weekend games, or maybe something on a Thursday, or something along those lines. You know, we're going to be mixing it around here and there, and there'll be some good tournaments, 3 or 4 tournaments next week, 3 fun ones, and a serious one with BattleMania, of course. And by the next BattleMania, I should have sorted myself out. So it's like Vampire is banned, Wood Elves and High Elves. Okay, good bands, good bands. I should be having a scoreboard at the top that I've made myself. I should be having all of my other stuff. I'm going to be setting up Patreon as well. I'll also be having, now with Void, actually, with some of the money going forward and all the games that I'm giving out as prizes, I have my PayPal set up. So we'll have all those things set up in the... We're moving forward, we're moving forward, we're moving forward. I'm getting to grips with all this stuff. How much time do you have approximately? If this game goes ahead and let's say Void wins, you'll have, I would say, approximately 15 minutes. If not, I would say if it doesn't win on this one, you've probably got 40 minutes. So you've got somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes, Caradoc, I would say. I would say something like that. Right. Yeah. So whatever you do, buddy, just let me know, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, thank you for all bearing with me. This has been a bit of a nightmare tonight. As I said, I worked the last 2 days. I worked like 31 hours in 2 days. So out of 48, I worked 31 hours, and I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty tired. I won't lie to you. But this week things should be back to normal. I won't have to work like that again for a while, so that's good. Pretty much always happens with... Yeah, so I think I've heard something about that spell causing crashes to games. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true now that it's actually happened to me, but it's never happened to me before. So maybe there's something like that. Maybe that is true. Okay, so let's not get play with Dark Elves anyway. I think Dark Elves is quite a nice option. Lots of AP, Dark Shards, repeater crossbows. You also have some... good artillery units as well, actually. Reaper bolt throws are pretty good. But obviously, Carronades and stuff are going to outtrade on range. They should outtrade on value as well, in theory. So I'm expecting a little bit more of a push and rush. You've also got some good infantry options. Depth Guard will do well, but I think they'll lose to the elite options from Dark Elves. Can they win the sky? I don't know if they can win the sky in theory. I don't think they can. I think... I'm not sure. I think this favours probably still Void with VP. But Dark Elves have got some good options. Dark Elves have got some good options for sure. Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. Beastmen versus VP could be good. Yeah, I like Beastmen against VP. I like Beastmen against VP. So let me ask you guys as we're here, we're all here together just whilst we're waiting. With the new, obviously we were talking about, I had a question from Parkerilla who asked me to do a sort of a brief newer player matchup guide. If you're, like for example, let's just use the Dowie, that's my main faction. If I'm the Dowie, for example, your first bans are always Skaven and High Elves. They're the ones you ban. They're the ones you don't want to play against, and then which ones are you good against? You're good against Empire. If I made a video like that, that'll obviously be for this current patch. But for the patch going forward, what do you guys want to see? I know a lot of the community are looking forward to Greenskins getting a couple of nerfs, maybe increasing some of the price of some of the skirmish cavalry, maybe just a bit of a remix there of the faction, maybe changing some of the numbers or units within, maybe reducing the amount of goblins you get in a unit size or something. What are you guys looking forward to in the next patch? And what factions are you looking to get improved? Don't ban Skaven and Elves as Dowie. Gorgeous. Legion, you told me very well. I remember actually, Legion might not remember, but I played him in the WWC round 1, and I knew he was now being a far much more, so my very first, I think it was my second ever competitive game was against Legion, and I didn't know that he used to be a Skaven main. This is when Skaven were like S tier. These guys were like super strong before they got nerfed, right? And I played against Legion in the first round of the WWC, and I didn't know that he used to be a Skaven, like not a main, but he used to play Skaven a lot. And he played up against my Dowie and just shot the living life out of me, and ever since then I always banned Skaven first. Ever since playing him, I have like PTSD. That game, he does remember that game was brutal. That game was just it hurt me. And then what else we played? Oh yeah, because you helped me with my Greenskins. I played my Greenskins up against your Tomb Kings, I think it was. I still feel weird about it. Yeah, I was literally a brand new player. The only one I played before Legion was somebody who came top 10 and won prize money. I played against Calaharman. I played against Calaharman, and I brought Greenskins against his Bretonnia, and I tried to out-blob him, which is tough against Bretonnia, especially with Faye. And then I can't remember what the other match was. I think it was Empire against... I cannot remember, but it was a tough one. It was tough. No, you didn't. And I ended up having to push you. I actually went, I think I tried to go triple, no, I tried to go quadruple repeater bolt throwers against you, sorry. Quadruple bolt throwers against you, against your Wallop Giselles, and you just out-traded me when you got in range, and then I was just chasing you as the Dowie. It broke my heart. After playing you and then playing Calaharman, I then won the rest of my games. So I did pretty well, and I think I went 2-1 against Luftergasten, or I think it was Luftergasten. I think that was his name, but yeah, I went no, not 2-1, maybe 1-1, something like that. But yeah, some fun games. But I got my first slap of multiplayer up against Legion. that was interesting. Oh, it should be interesting. I think one side here or there is going to maybe try and see if they can, maybe... We could see a sky build from both sides, maybe try and see if they can outdo each other in the sky. I think the sky is more than likely going to be won here from Vampirates. They have good options. for sure. Lots of AP, you could see crabs, you could see all sorts of things here. I really don't know. VP is a very, very strong faction. I think it comes down to... I think it comes down to what the VP player brings. I felt so bad when another guy picked Dwarf. That Skaven, I didn't pick them. Yeah, they are super strong. I was actually training with Big Doyle, so I shared him on the channel recently actually with his Dowie game. He loves the dwarfs as much as I did when I first started playing. Behave, Biblington, behave. Oh, that was the other one as well, actually. Sorry, I played Calaharmon's Lizardmen into my Dowie. Because I thought Dowie, because, you know, as a brand new player, I played on like some quick battles. And I went, oh, Dowie pretty strong against Lizardmen. Not realising, actually, it's pretty Lizardman favoured. I learned about that pretty quickly. So you two maybe learn very quickly that some interesting stuff. But anyway, so we have some deckhand mobs in the front line. There's like a couple of units of these. So there's like 4 of those at least. With a couple of units of sirens. I always like sirens. Make sure it always keeps your enemy in check. Make sure you've got that magic damage. Kind of with that terror and armor piercing is always very good. Also, they have the nice charm for the -9 melee attacks. So some really good stuff. The bombers are always the staples for any army here. These guys actually getting nerfed was quite a big thing here for VP. In general, but 4 units of scurvy dogs as well, very good for 95 speed. We are going to have the Queen Abbess in the back here from Void. Now this, I don't know, I don't ever normally see Void meme too much, but this is going to be interesting. I think this is either going to win or lose him the game for sure. But Count Noculus here in the sky as well. On top of his mount, he will be having the Moon Dial, Wrathstorm, Arcane Conduit, Invocation of the Heck, and the nice Drowned Dead summons. He can just summon for days, and it's just so painful to play against him sometimes. So 1 gunnery wipe, but not 2. I'm sure Scab Scraith will be there with all the other good bits and bobs. And nice and wide here from the Dark Elves. As before we know, a little bit low on the health pool from these guys, with no healing apart from Stole Stealer, of course. But Dread Spears alongside some Bleak Swords in the front line. No ROR. We will have some nice Dark Shards here in the back. No shields here from any of the units, keeping them nice and cheap. I think it's 100, an extra 100 there for the shields. They only have 30 armor, so they are very susceptible to getting shot pretty hard. So Dark Riders with shields, as well as we're going for the triple of those, with some more expensive Witch Elves in the back. Where are those sneaky Witch Elves? So these Witch Elves have some nice abilities, including the Madness of Cain, giving that Rampage, negative melee defense and speed. And in this guy we will have the double Feral Manticore, as well as the Supreme Sorceress of Fire. So no Marathi, so Ice Power will be just so mad. But in the back, Scurvy Dogs left, right and centre should be very good here at shutting down the Dark Shards. This is quite a common build. I like seeing quite a wide front line with lots of Dark Shards, nice and cheap there, just so you can try and out-trade up against your opponents. Especially with the extra range here, you only have 55 range as the Zombie Pirate Gunnery Bombers. So with that, oh look at that damage there. Because you also will be getting that negative from the Queen Bess, I believe. Oh no, so it's like just monstrous impact. So it gives that reduction for 10 seconds for speed. I thought it had a negative to leadership, discourage effect, but perhaps it doesn't. But still, look at that. Fantastic stuff. It just all depends whether it's going to get its value, but it does need to shut down the Dark Shards. The Dark Shards can do some really good work here. Shut down the Gunnery Bombers, and this front line will crumple pretty quickly. But the Witch Elves are going to very carefully hide here in the forest until they're necessary. We're coming around the flanks, we are going to have the Dark Riders with shields, but as they do push forward, it is going to leave this back end open. Some very good patience here from Void Lols, making sure he's waiting for that opportune moment there when both of the Feral Manticores as well as the Dark Riders have pushed forward. So this back line here is very ready to be harassed by the Quad Dogs. Really, really good stuff. And that's what I really like about this map. You can very well hide many units of Vanguard units. But in the front line here, you're definitely going to be having some wins from the Bleak Sword. As long as they don't get pushed off by fear, they are going to be slightly fighting uphill here with some slight terrain advantage here from Void Lols. But shooting in the back line here with the Dark Shards going to very quickly carve across the Bombers. The Bombers have been hit by the Dark Rider Shields. And the Sirens are going to be in the back. We do have a charge from Dark Rider Shields trying to get in and shut down the Queen Bess. And the Queen Bess is going to keep firing. That Terror will push off Mixer's Dark Riders rather quickly. We do have the Feral Manticores in the back, and the Dread Spears coming through on the flanks. I think a bit of shutdown. Look at those Bombers do some tremendous damage value up against these Bleak Swords. A brilliant Scab Scraith going against the double infantry Bleak Swords, really pushing them off nice and quickly with that added fear. We're going to have multiple summons here in the front, although a little bit open here on the side from the zombie pirate gunnery mobs. A nice flame in the back there, nice burning head, going straight across the siren units, really carving apart this very lowly armoured infantry force here, and magic weak force from the undead. Choosing in the back from the Dark Shards, still have one unit on board, so the rest have been generally dealt with. Let's have a look. So we've got some units coming back, so it looks like we are going to do some Dark Riders. We've still 2 Dark Riders online. We have at least the double ferals and the fire sorceress in the sky. If she stands still too long, you get very well hit here by Count Noculus. Count Noculus is in melee combat up against the feral, and the feral has been rampaged, so could be a bit problematic here for her. But the overcast summon of gunnery mob in the pocket here is going to be shooting in the sky up against this sorceress. We do have the bombers here shooting straight into the Dreadspires that are oncoming. They should be able to hit without getting broken. As you can see, we don't have a rampage unit of Scale Dogs that have been shattered and now broken. Look at that damage here up against the Bleak Sword. Some good work. Scurvy Dogs with that mobility here from the Undead is going to be very good at just pushing off all sorts of units. And as you can see here, although there's lots of armor piercing from the Dark Shards, there's really not going to be much that's going to be able to stop them. When they do engage, they don't really want to be getting hit by the Witch Elves. As you can see, it has rampaged them, which means the Dark Shards could drop. Look at that. They're going to be falling so quickly. But as you can see, they have shattered the Dark Shards. There's going to be no range left here from the Dark Elves. Mobility generally favouring the Undead. You can see Noculus is going to be in the back here with his Sirens fighting up. Rampage Ferromantical, which is going to be struggling. We'll be going down on leadership here, probably due to the Terror. But, oh no, sorry, he is Terror causing, so won't be affected by Terror here. Apologies. But, generally just losing in combat there, going to allow it to get pushed off once it starts rampaging. Gunner Ripe should be able to finish off and do some good damage fighting against the Feral Manticore. And, oh, it looks like he's just going to be choosing off the Supreme Sorceress of Fire. I think this is it for the Dark Elves. There's not too much left for them to be doing here. I don't know what needs to happen for the Dark Elves. I don't know if the infantry needs to become cheaper or... I'm not sure. But here, I think there was some good play by Mixer. There was some good options. Just a little bit late down the message. But as you see, the bombers coming in. These bombers are just some 45 kills. Really some good work there. And you can see getting terrified by these Sirens. Supreme Sorceress really can't come back into the fray because this Gunnery Right is just going to basically screen her out. Make sure she can't come through with any more burning heads. You have so many summons coming in from Noculus as well. And it looks like the Queen Bess is going to be... Is that down or is it just not on the... Oh no, it is down. It is down. Bomber's going to be shooting here up against the Bleak Swords. Units are coming back from the Dark Elves. Can this be turned around? I really don't think so. Once this Ferromanticore has been dealt with, you can see Wrathstorm going down. So look at this damage value on top of the Ferromanticore there. Brilliant stuff coming in. Count Noculus is not known as a very good melee combatant either. He's pretty poor actually. So nice Scab Scythe here, really doing some good damage up against the Witch Elves, doing its magical damage as well. It does have that physical resistance, so they are weak to magic, and that will be most of the entities there, and it will be breaking. So good stuff. 80 kills, 1.8 here for the Supreme Sorceress. 122 kills. The front line doing some okay damage value. Nothing brilliant, unfortunately. So 2 units doing pretty well. The other 3 struggling. As you saw, we had some Scab Scythes, as well as the bombers coming in for that additional effect, plus the extra summons here from Noculus as well. Just really filtering. Unfortunately, the Bleak Sword's just going to be struggling. Dread Spears, 100 and 200 there. 600 and 550 from the Witch Elves. Dark Shard's getting absolutely no damage value at all. And it looks like one there was with shields, but 221 for him. And 500, 500, and 170. The Dark Rider is actually a pretty good pick here, but 1.2 and 680 for the Ferromanticore. I think the Ferromanticore, both of them together, needed to attack Noculus. If they attacked them together with the Supreme Sorceress of Fire, could have been quite nice. But as you can see, look at these doggos. 171 and 146 there. It's 800 and 940, 615 and 365. Those Scurvy Dogs were by far the MVP here of this matchup. Very well hid there by Void, just in the back there, and it was very patient. Some very good play from him. As we can see, 50 kills, 800 for the Gunneries. The Bombers doing very well, 800 as well, and 180. Sirens 400 and 450. Front line actually getting a couple of hundred, not doing too bad there. But 1.4 here for the Gunnery White and 1,300 here for Count Noculus. Only 700 damage running for the Queen Bess. I did think she might win or lose this, but actually what it was, if these doggos didn't perform the same way and maybe Mixer had some way of dealing with the dogs. I think actually this army might have struggled. But good stuff. I like the build, and well played to Void Lulz. Very, very good stuff from him. He will be going through to the final, and yet again, another final that Void is in. This guy is absolutely destroying the multiplayer scene at the moment, as well as Mixer. And some good stuff from both of them. So we'll be having Katam up against Caradoc here. Both of these guys, some brilliant players, and especially for I've seen a lot more of Caradoc than I have Katam, but I've seen some good stuff from Katam. He's played at least twice now on stream, but Caradoc's played multiple times here, getting better and better and better. Well played Void indeed, Legion. Well played Void indeed. This guy's been playing absolutely fantastic at the moment, beating even star as well, and doing some really, really good stuff. It's nice to see good players doing well. Right, I can't see you, Katam. I don't know if you're online for me, but I will invite Caradoc in, and then we're going to be playing on Summer Song. I picked a VC instead. Oh, okay, so VC... Wait, can this Dowie? If he's a new player, I guess it's not too bad. You can do pretty well. I think that like a mass Siren rush there, like 5 units of Sirens, can be actually pretty good against Dowie. Yeah, they do magic damage, but they do some good AP. I'm late. No worries, Venge. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Looks like somebody had intensity level dog control. I know. If there's anything like me, I am just like, I need to be more patient in certain matchups. I'm not super patient, to be fair. Well played, Void. Good stuff, buddy. You played really, really well. Your dogs there were absolutely fantastic. Like, your play there was like, if there's any new players out there and you really want to see how to utilize anti-skirm or like sort of anti-backline with doggo play, that's the perfect way to do it. He saw there that the Dark Riders had gone forward, the Manticores had gone forward, and they were pretty much Mixer had forced an engagement there in the back to shut down that Queen Bess. I think actually the Queen Bess was a little bit of a bait there, as you saw a lot of those key units going into the back, Burning Head used on it as well, so that focus was taken away from the back line, and actually the combination of the bombs as well as the dogs was a brilliant idea to take out that back line range. So some fantastic stuff there. For any new players, go back and watch that. It's a really good play. Really, really good play. So yeah, let's just get these guys in here. Yeah, you do have it, Legion. I just saw you just sent it to me. Fantastic. Right. Right, so we'll just wait for Karak. You are both up, so let's get you guys both in. Just seeing that you just sent me that message, Legion. I didn't know you said. I actually still think I have the replay. Actually, maybe I'll cast it. Maybe I'll cast an old school me, No, it's okay. It's okay. It's good to know. But like I was saying actually earlier, Big Doyle's quite new to the scene as well as Praetor, and I was showing both of the guys actually because he really Big Doyle really wants to play the Dowie. He loves them. And like I'm sure CJ will tell you here that recently you figured out that testing from cavalry against Dowie isn't as bad. No, cavalry can work pretty well. Cavalry can work pretty well, but if you have a good Dowie player, cavalry can be comfortably dealt with. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I was teaching them how to play Dowie, and I used a good example and a good build from Legion to show those boys exactly why Skaven's so powerful against against the Dowie, and why it should be the #1 ban. I like High Elves. High Elves are very strong. I think for Grombrindal, it's his first ban. There are things you could do against Skaven. There are things since I've come on and learned the Dowie a bit better. There are things you can do. But it's not easy. It's not easy. But yeah, I mean for sure there are. I think Grombrindal's first ban is High Elves, but I think High Elves can be comfortably dealt with if you have good knowledge of the matchup. I don't know what Dowie need. I really don't know what they need or what needs to change to make them more effective in certain matchups. But they have some brilliant matchups, and then they also have some pretty terrible ones, for sure. But I mean, I guess that's the way it should be for some matchups. That's the way it should be. Alright, so we have the Extreme Meme Team Katam in today. The big boy himself. And then we have VM Caradoc. Ah, Mr. Caradoc is coming. Perfect. Oh, I was going to say something about you. I can't remember. Once Void beats me out. Yeah, you got lots of points mixers. So the one thing I was saying about the whole point system, for those that are brand new here. Oh, by the way, very quickly, I'll make this announcement now. I don't like making it. But guys, if you are enjoying it, please do drop a like. It really does help just really help share the video here. But quick explanation on the BattleMania. The further you go through, the more points you get. And getting into the semi-finals here, you will be getting yourself 150 points. That's actually a considerable amount of points. From doing the last 2 seasons, the average points to go through is approximately 300 to 350 to make the finals. So if you get 2 semi-finals, you're generally within the ballpark to get into the Invitational for the season finale. And what the season finale is, once you win that, I'll actually be giving you a copy of Total War Warhammer 3. I actually have mine ready now. Void Lol's won the last one, so he will be getting that from me tomorrow. And I've already pre-ordered another one, so you guys will have that ready as soon as you win the next one. But if Void wins again, which he could very well do, he'll obviously be getting the prize, which will be $50 instead. So you'll be winning £50 from me. So, yeah. All right. Let's have a little look. All right, so we are going to be... Yeah, so it will be Caradoc to pick and ban first. Perfect. Alrighty. Right, I think Caradoc. So Caradoc's a very, very good player. Caradoc's come on leaps and bounds. How you doing, Flex? How are you? How are we far in? Not particularly too far in. So Void did win the first one. He won the first semi-final, winning it 2-0 there up against Mita. Some brilliant games from both sides. He brought a very different VC build that was really nice to see. And some excellent VP play coming in from him. And Mixer played very well as well. I really liked his Greenskin pick. A nice Greenskin mirror match as well from both players. Yeah, some good stuff. But as I said, coming forward in the future, I set up a few things for YouTube. So we should have some banners up here with names and all that sorts of things. And how you doing, Ella? Unfortunately, I don't understand that, but I hope you're doing well. I don't know if anybody can translate that for me. That's apologies, that's on me. I'm not sure what that says. But yeah, I'll have some more things coming forward for the channel, so hopefully it should really boost us up. But we've got 3 tournaments next week for all of you guys that are in, so we'll have lots of tournaments going forward. I have a 2v2 tournament next week. I also have a sub-faction tournament, and I will be having my normal BattleMania. I'm also in the process of finishing off the rules for the Sub-Commanders tournament. So that should be going ahead, not next week, but the week after. So, Sub-Commanders tournament, basically you get in teams of 3. One person looks after the infantry, one looks after the range and the artillery, and the last person looks after the the monsters and the cavalry. So, he's cheering for the Russians. Oh, thank you very much, Legion. Appreciate that. So yeah, so I got those tournaments coming through. Our people. Oh, okay. But yeah, so we've got all of those 3 tournaments coming through. So 2v2s will be quite fun, so make sure you find yourself a partner. I'll be at least putting on the sub-faction tournament and the 2v2 tonight. So they'll go on either tonight or early tomorrow morning. They'll be on, so you guys can sign up for those. For those that haven't played in the sub-faction tournament, you pick a sub-faction and you play for the entirety of the tournament. So it's a little bit like a one-faction tournament, but in this one you can't pick the main faction. So if you want to play High Elves, you have to play Avalon or Nagaraith or something like that. Or, you know, so you have to pick those specific sub-factions. And the great thing about that is that you see lots of different army compositions that you wouldn't normally see. And, yeah, it makes it quite fun and interesting. Makes the gameplay very different. You know, like Funnels and Nagash is quite cool, you know, where you see Fellbats and you see dogs and you see all sorts of cool units. Two for twos would be quite interesting. You know, you might see, for example, High Elves partnered up with Dowie, where you've got Dowies that have Star of Avalon. You know, you're talking about crazy box builds like that could be absolutely just ridiculous. Then obviously you've got the cavalry from elite cavalry from, you know, High Elves, and you can work out some really, really cool items. And sub-faction tournament would be really nice, where you have, you know, those 3 different combinations, but all of you have to work together to get that nice nice win together, and obviously BattleMania for the nice competition. So some good tournaments coming forward. Can you pick Etain or Reichland? Are they main sub factions? Trying to think. Logic, do you think Empire versus TK is Empire favored? No, I would say it's TK favored. For sure. I would say it's TK favored. I think in general TK are like good, strong mid-tier. They're a strong mid-tier faction. You know, they've not got too many terrible matchups, and they've not got too many brilliant ones either. That's a hard one, really. I think they're a good mid-tier faction, for sure. Like, for example, I'd say Daria, good. No, I'd just say they're a mid-tier faction. Mid to low-tier faction, Dowie. You think it's 50-50 Legion? I'd probably give it 55-45 to TK, just in my experience, Oh, then yeah, you can play. Oh, Etain is that Tory? Is that Tory for S? Is that who you mean, Tory for S? In good players' hands, VC is actually very scary. And I think when people have to talk about matchups, you have to be very careful at what level you're talking about. So, for example, if you guys go on my Discord, you can see in the matchup discussion, you'll even see from the WWC, from the second bracket, third bracket, and top 64, you'll see the differences in percentage wins. TK got some very good options. Like if you go triple chariot, so for example, if you bring Setcher on his chariot, you bring Tomb Prince on his chariot with Guardian, so the 50% physical resistance, and then you bring a Necrotech that has its fan braces, giving the weakness to fire and giving the -9 melee attack. You have those 3 as a core blob, and you have them just rolling dirty around each other. It's nasty. And if you've got good micro, you can just keep that going, and you have like the ROR Tomb Guard, and you've got some really good bits and bobs. It's just fantastic. But at the very, very top level, VC is very, very strong, except good kiting factions like Greenskins, Wood Elves. They struggle against that. Greenskins, of course, are elite at any level. That's what makes them very powerful. I think Dari are very strong in low-level players, and they can be extremely strong in high-level players in certain matchups. But in mid-tier, they're not very good, because at mid-tier, most people have worked them out, and at mid-tier, most people have left them behind because they're not really strong enough. Wood Elves are a very good high-tier faction. They're very glass cannon. If you can get the good use out of them, for example, you know, you can do some really, really good work. Alright, so we are going to get Dark Elves up against Chaos. I say this is pretty Dark Elf favoured, I would think. So Lizardman ban from Caradoc and Greenskin ban. Very interesting. Surprised there's no VC here from Kassam. VC are very good up against Chaos. Very good. It's a very hard matchup to win there. I learned that the hard way. I think Dark Elves and VC are very good in this matchup up against the Chaos. But I think it's his main faction here for Caradoc is the Chaos. So maybe he knows something I don't. TK against Brett, only 32% win rate. How? There really isn't. I think that's right. I think Legion is correct. There isn't. You will not be finding correct stats from the WWC because there are very few. Like, for example, outside of myself and Grombrindle, you're not going to find any Dowie mains. Not really. Like, there's not many people that main Dowie. The same way for TK, there's not many players that main Tomb Kings. Apart from yourself, CJ. There's not. I can't really think of any, to be honest. There's lots of people that like do VC, VP, Greenskins, Skaven. You know, for example, Mixer is a very good Skaven player as far as I've seen. I don't know if that's his main faction. I don't know if that's your main faction, Mixer, or not, but you're certainly very good with them. So it looks like just Dread Spears in the front line. I'm assuming there's going to be some good AP here. Yeah, so lots and lots of shades with the dual weapons. So looks like it has some Hagenarth Executioners as well. This looks very good. So Hagenarth Executioners, they're going to be bonuses infantry, anti-infantry armor piercing. The Witch Elves are nice rampage. If they do get shot, they're a bit in trouble, but there's not going to be too much. Only skirmish cavalry here.
Bring them to me.
So we have some Dark Riders with shields, and we also have these shades with the dual weapons. They're going to be bonus infantry, armor piercing, missile strength, and they have a nice 130 range. They also have Stalk, and they're generally pretty good. Looks like we have 3 units of those, but they are very expensive. We are going to be having the Sorcerers of Fire that has the Fireball and Flamestorm. Very interesting. No Burning Head, only Flamestorm. Burning Head would have been very nice up against the cheap chaff here from the Chaos. So for the Chaos, we have a couple of units of Maraudal Horsemasters, and we have some Chaos Warhounds. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the Lord. The Lord is going to be, Lokia Farheart on foot with his Kraken Helm, as well as the Dreaded Duelist. I really like that pick. I think it's a very good foot lord. He actually did pretty well here up against South Throw for sure. So we have a couple of units of Chaos Chariots and lots of Horse Masters and Horsemen. So some good work there from the Skirmish Cavalry. Chaos Knights with Lancers is an interesting one. Now, I like the Lancers variety. I don't like the normal ones. That 80 charge, and if they are utilized correctly, they can be super dangerous. But we do have the Soul of Damnation, the ROR Hell Cannon, with some really, really nice abilities. We have the Mirror Guard as well as just a Mirror Guard and a unit of Chaos Wards, great weapons on top. Really nice positioning here. This is some fantastic work here from Caradoc. Look at this positioning here behind the pole. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to shoot into here behind this, but it's going to be very comfortable for him to shoot over the top. It's like the Shades of Jewels going to be shooting into the Chariots with nice armor piercing. These guys have a massive 110 armor as well, so they can push through quite comfortably. As we can see, going into the front line, it does have a little bit of correction here on the Soul of Damnation, but when it does come down to terrain, it will have a little bit of difficulty shooting. So it's going to be targeting after the Dread Spears. A little bit interesting for the Dread Spear pick. Would much rather see those Witch Elves on the Hagenarth going off the map for sure. Looks like a bit of friendly fire there in the back of the Maraudal Horsemasters. But some more Maraudal Horsemasters are going to take some big punishment here from the Shades with the dual weapon. Smashing into this pocket, so we have the double Witch Elves on top of each other. That can be very, very dangerous. But Lokia now has been seen, and as you can see, we are going to see the Ever Chicken coming over to do some good damage value. What's he having today? So he's going to be having Final Transmutation, he's going to have Plague of Rust and Arcane Conduit. Not too much else from him. So looks like Final Transmutation going down on top of the Witch Elves. They have no magic resistance but good physical resistance, so some good magic damage going in here. Looks like we are going to be breaking one unit of Witch Elves and damage coming down on the second unit as well. Looks like it's going to be overcast as well for that extra duration. Then he's just going to do lots and lots of damage value. Kiting from the front line, and where are those sneaky units? Where are the Lancers? The Lancers are in the middle. Lancers haven't done too much work. They have 120 armor, some good stuff. They get some good charges here against the Dread Spears, but they don't want to get caught standing still. Here we go. So they're going to be shooting against the elite Hagenarth Executioners. This is where the damage needs to be done. They're going to be very dangerous here against the Mirror Guard and Co. Lokia Farheart is going to be chasing. He is going to be hitting into the backside of Caradoc. This where it gets a little bit dangerous. You do have the micro problem here. You have lots of micro here for Caradoc to deal with. And something that I do quite often, and I see a few players do it as well, sometimes when you bring a few extra units, then you're able to micro slightly above your own ability. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but that's just something that I constantly do. And it's always something to keep in mind if you are a newer player. Make sure you've got some units or a good unit size that you're able to micro. And Caradoc is a phenomenal player, and his ability has just gone through the roof since I've been seeing him play BattleMania and all sorts of good tournaments. But in the pocket here, we do see the Chaos Knights tapping courts. They are going to be down to one model. They are broken and going to be struggling against just a little bit. But the Chaos Knights are going to be charging uphill, getting some very good damage value here against the Hargonath Executioners, and maybe even breaking the Dread Spears. They don't want to stay in sustained combat, but should still get some good damage value. We have a broken unit of Dark Riders. They have been terrified from Southrail. The second unit have been terrified as well. Some brilliant work there, and we can really use the speed from the Chaos Warhounds to maybe try to see if we can push them off. But the double Dark Shards here, the triple Shades in the back with the dual weapons, getting some good volleys here into the backside of our skirmish cavalry. As you can see, the solar damnation did shoot, and I think it hit a tree here. A little bit of a shame there. That is the slight problem here. We have a rampaging unit of Ruler Horse Masters. That is the advantage of having the Witch Elves, that you can force them into that engagement that you don't particularly want. The Chaos Warriors with the great weapons going to be dueling here up against the Hargonath Executioners. A lot more health than here. Normally the Hargonauts will win that comfortably. Over in the back, we are going to see lots of shooting up against one unit of Ruler Horse Masters. They are pretty good in the melee combat. Not brilliant, but they're better than normal horsemen. But they're going to lose relatively comfortably here. It's getting a little bit dire here for the Chaos player. We still have lots of good units of Shades online with some good ammunition. Should be very good at dealing with the elite Chaos Warriors and the Mirror Guard. As you see, Southrail will be fighting up against the bonuses large and anti-large spears. Spears should do some good work. They're not going to stay here without any sort of leadership help. So unfortunately, although they don't have the right tools to take down against Southrail, what's that big problem? Although they don't have the right tools to take him down, they're not going to have the leadership enough to deal with that terror. But in the back here, it looks like we do have the Dark Riders going to be collapsing. Maybe trying to see if they can push onto the Soul of Damnation. But as you can see, they have been caught. They are going to be getting taken care of here by the Chaos Lancers, as well as the great weapons here with the AP the Chaos Warriors. So Leica is going to be running dirty here with these Sorcerers of Fire, but not too much Winter Magic going forward here so far. Looks like Flamestorm is going to come in the back, and that does go off because there's good damage value here up against the great weapons. Yeah, got some good kills there. Only one kill actually went off. It doesn't look like too much more damage value, unfortunately. That Flamestorm not going to be able to do too much more damage value, unfortunately. But as you can see, Southrail will have the mobility here over Loki Felhart. Loki Felhart has just been ignored at this point, which I think is a very good play from Caradoc. Fireball will be going down in the pocket up against the elite Chaos Knights and Lances. And they're going to be down to 35 models, but still very strong here. They can very comfortably just chase and deal up with the Shades. There's going to be nothing left to protect them. It's pretty much going to be a Loki Felhart versus the world here, but we do have some spears in the back, and the spears can get onto the Soul of Damnation and shut that down. That could be quite nice. But that Flamestorm is still going. It's had a visual glitch. It's still going. I didn't know they lasted that long. But yeah, it looks like it is going to end. So the Shades in the back have been hopped on by Horse Masters and Knights with Lances. And I think this is going to be... Yeah, I think this is going to be a Chaos win. Horse Masters in the back could do with that good mobility chasing off. It just, how can they deal? I think it's going to be a pull out from Caterham, I think. Yeah. I think interesting. I don't know how Loki would have done. There wasn't too much more ammunition left here from the Horse Masters, but I think if they managed to get around him, they could have bullied him off the edge of the map, maybe even terrified him using Southrail. But good stuff there. I should really try and use Chaos Knights more. Chaos Knights are really good, but they're not worth their value. Normal Chaos Knights aren't. I'd say the Lancers really are. So 66 kills, 450 for Southrail the Everwatcher. I really like Searing Doom for him. I like Searing Doom. I think it's a really underrated spell from the Winter Magic, from Metal. I think it's really, really good. But 400 here for the Great Weapons, and 51 for 400 from the Mirror Guard. I really love the Mirror Guard. One of the best value for ROI units in the game, for sure. It's definitely up there, in my opinion. But 1.1 here for the Chaos Chariots, and 970 from the second unit. 824 damage, just 80 kills here for the Chaos Knights with Lances. 300 damage value from the Marauding Horsemen, 1.2, 1,000, 350, and 400 from the Marauder Horse Masters. It's like 124 damage value for the Chaos, and 168 kills, 1.6k damage value from the Soul of Damnation. So good stuff from Caradoc. I really like that build. Really cool build. 120 damage value for Loki Furhard. That's such a shame that he couldn't get involved anymore. There was no infantry to deal with apart from these two, and there really wasn't much he could do, unfortunately. But 550 damage value for the Fire Sorceress with some good fireballs and flamestorms. With 200, 500, 120, and 105. Witch Elves here with 53 and 26. Hargonaths really got hit hard. 600, 660, and 1.4 here from the Shades, and 500, 500, and 750 from the Dark Riders. Bit of a shame there. I kind of liked both builds. I just don't think that there was enough from Dark Elves. It's difficult. It's difficult. Like Reaper Bolt Throwers would have. Like the nice thing about the Soul of Damnation, obviously, it's unbreakable. So dealing with that infantry on the cannon is quite difficult. I like Chaos Knights. With the Lances, I think they're really good. You've got to be careful. They are very tanky, but they're very susceptible to getting caught and pinned in, and they're very expensive. They are very expensive. I like the ROR. If you roll the ROR, you can roll them dirty with Archon the Everchosen. They actually give Guardian, which is really nice. So obviously giving that 15% physical resistance. Then you just roll them dirty with Archon the Everchosen, and that's a pretty meaty force there to deal with. But obviously the ROR don't have those Lances. So it looks like we're going to have Norsca, Ban Empire, and Greenskins. I think Empire's pretty good up against Norsca, and Greenskins is obviously good against most factions. What could you play here? I think also like pretty even between Chaos and Norsca as well. What could you do up against Norsca here? Norsca was shown to be... I think Norsca's a good mid-tier faction. They have some good games and some bad games against certain factions. What could you bring here up against Norsca? Okay, yeah, I've seen Caradoc use Wood Elves and High Elves quite a bit. Do I like High Elves here? There's lots of options, like if you talk about throwing spears are pretty good. You know, with the Marauder Javelins, they're pretty good up against any large entities. So you've got to be careful there. I think could do quite well here with High Elves. But let's see what Caradoc wants to do. Let's see what he wants to do. Yeah, I find Chaos Knights hard to use, but potential to do some real damage. Yeah, if your micro is really on top, Bivlington, you can do some really good work. What are we saying here? Very strong. Yeah, so what Venture was saying about VC, so very strong lords and lots of heals and units and summons. Plenty of summons they have. They can just summon all over the place. Gaze into Gash is a problem as well. Chaos can't win the Sky game. They don't win it. They can't. Breath attacks are a problem. It's difficult. It is difficult. Oh, I'll read the next one. That's exactly what Legion's just said. Yeah, air wins versus Chaos. And as long as you're patient with a VC, you'll always win that game, pretty much. Gaze in the Gash is really strong, yeah. Spirit Leech is really good as well. You just take Manfred von Carstein. You take Spirit Leech, Gaze in the Gash, Dance Macabre, as well as like Invocation of the Heck and a Summon, and you're pretty solid for the rest of the game. And you maybe just go double Necromancer with some, so they can stroke some rods, get yourself some healing with the Mortis Engine effect, and you just go with Graveguard, great weapons, and you just chew up the rest pretty much. There's not really too much you can do about it. VC are very strong in the right hands, and they are scary. Oh, my bad. As long as you don't take straight up fight versus buff squad, you shouldn't lose. Yeah. So pretty much what I said. Yeah, by the time Chaos deals with the strong units as Lord, Mortis Engine puts in a lot of work. Yeah, when you got that Mortis effect for the +5 melee attack, +5 melee defense, plus that regen, plus the rods of stroking, you know, you're getting that mana back as well for the Spirit Leeches. You know, Spirit Leeches on top of like Soul of Damnation or any sort of cannon work there is pretty good. Or you can put it there on the Skirmish Cavalry as well. You know, you've got so much you can utilize. Or what you can really do is force a dragon down into some skirmish calves, summon behind it, and then pin it in with some other stuff. There's so much you can do. There's so much you can do. Good stuff. Logic, do you think cavalry versus VC against Dowie is good? Let them play on Slangold for our amusement. I can't remember what Slangold looks like. Is that the that's the campaign quest map, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Oh, look what it looks like. I can't remember what that is, you know. I feel like this is a campaign quest map. Where you like start in the middle and you have two forces come either side. I feel like it's a quest map. I can't remember the map, to be fair. What is the worst match? What is the worst map in the game? Surely it's got to be something like Altar of Ultimate Darkness or something. What's the worst multiplayer map you can play on? Just give it to them and you'll see. Oh my god. I could always put it in the final, to be fair. Like, the finals aren't set. I could always put Game 5 as that if you guys really want. Also, here's a question. So, we've got a lot of guys in here that play. Obviously, all of you play a lot of multiplayer. How do you feel about Prince Sigvald? Do you think Prince Sigvald needs a nerf? Do you think Prince Sigvald could do with a bit of a nerf? Maybe cost a little bit more, or maybe reduce his regen rate? Or what do you think? Because he's also got like perfect vigor. He's got all the good items to like really last a long time. When's my birthday? My birthday's in February, buddy. And cost increase at least, yeah, Blackthorn. I think so too. I don't think too much, but I think a little bit of an increase might be nice. Yeah, if you put a Dowie Lord with all of his items on, I think he's about 1500. Yeah, you reckon Venge about 100 extra? I don't know though, Grombrindle got 100 extra when I didn't think he needed it. But yeah, no, that does make a difference. It does make a difference. And Philosopher can be pretty ridiculous sometimes, but other than that, he's fine. Remove Silver Shield. But he's known for his shield though. You can't really do that because of lore, I don't think. I think if you're going to do anything, I think removing Perfect Vigor might be a good way of doing it. Or Sigvald increase for generic lord. I think a lot of generic lords, like the Empire Lord in general, could be reduced in cost. Like there's some generic lords, or like the Dowie Lord is pretty expensive that just doesn't offer anything, and that's why you don't see them. Like for example, like I think CEA's idea behind Grombrindle's price increase, I don't think he was overly powered at all. I thought he was pretty balanced. But they thought, well, he's the one that's used the most, so what we'll do is we'll increase his price and make Dowie even worse. Which was kind of annoying to me. I feel like that was the thought process, which kind of bothers me a bit. It's sort of like, we'll increase him so people use other lords. When actually you're just nerfing a faction that's already pretty hard done by. Dowie Lords are crap. Bad comparison. Yeah, no, you're not wrong, Venge. You're not wrong. Yeah, maybe it is a bad example. Maybe it is a bad example. I think he's pretty cheap for what he is. So for Caradoc, we have a couple of units of Illyrian Reaver archers, and we have looks like 4 units of just normal archers here. 5 units of Silvern Guard and the RR Keepers of the Flame Phoenix Guard. These guys will be the ROR that's getting nice. Where do they go?
Rain death on the enemy!
What do you do with my Phoenix Guard? Our Phoenix Guard are going to be in the back. Let's get a look at these boys. They look absolutely tremendous here. But the RR Phoenix Guard will be having that 30% physical resistance, plus the fear, making them quite nice with the expert charge defense, armor piercing, bonus for slash, anti-large, and all the other good stuff, and the mark of Asurian. So they have some really good abilities. We have the Mage of Metal for, looks like it's just going to be Plague of Rust. We have Teclis as well. He will be coming through with Kindle Flame, I'm sure. Yes, we have him Kindle Flame and Shield of Saffron, Net of Amantok, Flaming Sword of Ruin, Flock of Doom, and Potion of Charoi. And also having Greater Arcane Conduit, so that's nice. Mana Regen. 1 unit of Lion Chariots, and that looks to be it. Yeah, so pretty interesting build here. Pretty cheap, pretty wide. Should be interesting to see how it's going to deal with Norsca. But for the Norskans, so we have some throwing axes here. So lots of AP from the Skirmish Cavalry. We have some Marauder Berserkers. And we have the Brutes of Hound. So the ROR here that are unbreakable with their Frenzy and their Berserk mechanic. And they're going to have a Famir Belfiend of Shadows. So that looks like Enfeebling Foe as well as Pendulum, I think. Yeah, so Pendulum, Enfeebling Foe, and Arcane Conduit. And it's a pretty good melee combatant as well. So we will be having the Feral Mammoth as well as Wolfric the Wanderer. So Wolfric will be having Hunters of Champions, Fight or Die, Sea Fang, and Rage Mechanic. Yeah, so some nice names. We also have some Marauder Champions, 2 units of those. So quite the elites there with the 80 armor. We also have to have Rage Mechanic as well, with some Norscan Ice Walls and 2 units of Skirmish Cavalry. Oh, and Beast of Tashnar, so the bonus to large, anti-large doggos there in the back. So interesting forces both sides. I'm pretty sure these Marauder Berserkers would normally chew through the Silvern Guard, but not any armor here for these guys. 15 armor, they're going to get hit relatively hard by the archers. Should be some interesting stuff. Yes, he did, CJ. He got, Grombrindle got killed by Deathmaster in his chamber. They forgot to lock his door, so he killed him in the night. Because pretty much in lore, Grombrindle's unkillable on his chair, pretty much. I've missed a matchup. So we've got Norsca here up against the High Elves, and in the last one we had Chaos up against Dark Elves, with Caradoc going 1-0 up. So Caradoc here will be fighting up against Norsca. So we have some Skirmish Cavalry on the left, and it looks like they're just going to be pushing off the units of Horsemen Throwing Axes. They do have the 140 range here up against the 70 of the Throwing Axes. Shooting in the front line up against the weak Marauder Champions. Weak Marauder Champions. Sorry, the heavily armored Marauder Champions with their shields. They do have bronze shields, so they want to get 35% of those missiles coming in. This is quite the elite infantry for the Norscas. But as you can see, look at the damage on that left-hand side for the Marauder Berserkers. These guys are going to get absolutely wrecked. 15 armor, no shields. They're just going to get shot to death. Brutes of Hounds will do well when they hit the front line, but look at this damage value on the front line. Already down to half health here for the Marauder Berserkers. Down to 63 morals, already losing 12. And they haven't engaged in melee combat either yet. Chariots coming forward, they should be able to help clean out against the Marauder Champions. Look at that. Fantastic work from these Chariots. Just absolutely cleaving them apart, pushing them all over the place. Really breaking up that formation and stopping them from pushing through. You can see we do have the Keepers of the Flame. We're going to be pushing, but we do have the North Rivals net going down the back. Area of effect, which means when the second doggos do come through, they will get netted, and now they're going to get shot and pushed off. Did hear Sea Fang going off, but I didn't see what happened. But as we can see, Wolfric the Wanderer will be in the pocket alongside the Feral Mammoth. Really nice pendulum here into the pocket up against the archers. But as you can see, just a unit of Silver Guard here on the left. Not really doing too much. We want to see these infantry front line involved just a little bit more. In the middle, we do have some Marauder Champions fighting up against the units of archers. But this is where it gets a little bit dangerous. You shut down this back line, and it can get a little bit dangerous here for the High Elves. Wolfric's going to be very difficult to deal with, and as you can see, if you will be shooting the front line of Marauder Berserkers, with Fight or Die going down as well, you're not going to be shooting Wolfric the Wanderer or the other Feral Mammoth, but he has rampaged, and it is going to cause him there to be basically most of the stuff here is going to be both as large anti-large, and the Silver and Guard do have good magic resistance as well. So Pendulum not going to do too much work up against him. I believe it's as much as 30% as well. So yeah, it's pretty difficult here to deal with that Silver and Guard. The Medbell Fiend will be coming in. Another Pendulum here. Looks like it's going to be going up against the Archers yet again. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Pendulum up against the Flame Keepers. The Fiend, that'd be quite nice. But if you can't deal with the Flame Keepers, it's going to be very difficult here for the Northmen to win. Next going down on top of Wolfric the Wanderer. Plague of Rust with a negative 60 armor as well. Put him down to 10 armor. Silver and Guard on top of him, meaning it's going to be very difficult. Aaron's going to be shooting in at left, right, and center. He will be going down very, very quickly. Very well played here from Caradoc. Really knowing this matchup very well. It's very evident he knew what to bring, and it's going to be very difficult here. Wolfric going to be, that's an extended duration as well, I believe, for that rush. Wolfric's getting absolutely destroyed here. He's down to half health already. Balance of power already shifting into the higher favour, and you have the very elite Keepers of the Flame on the left. And there's no way they have anything to deal with them. You need to be using Sea Fang as well as the Pendulum to deal with these almost immediately. The Marauder champions with their physical resistance are really not going to be able to do too much in this matchup. Looks like Flockadoon will be going down on top of the Northern Horseman. What did happen? So there's Teklis. Teklis will be in the pocket. He's still pretty healthy. But the Rampaging Fairy Mammoth has got in the back on top of the Archers. We do need to see the Flames getting over here and dealing with him. As we see, Wolfric will be down here to 3.2 HP. Throwing axes in the back have been forced into melee with the Illyrian Reaver Archers. And we're getting very close here, and that will be army losses. Very well played here from Caradoc. That was a very convincing win. Knowing that matchup very well. Really, really nice build from him. I think actually there really wasn't much Katam could do. But well played. Really, really well played. The nets were perfect. Overcasting Rust with the arrows. The arrows would have got tremendous 800, 890, 800, and 870. So pretty much all nearly doubling their value. 64 for 850. 700 and 600 here from the Illyrian Reaver Archers. 640 from the Lion Chariots and the front line. 700, 870, 1076, 500 and 500. Yeah, good stuff. Very, very, very good work. 107 kills, 1.2k for Wolfric the Wanderer. 500 here from the Balefiend. And the front line doing okay, but they got shot relatively hard. Berserkers 200 and 280, 500 and 580, 380 for the Brutes. And the Throwing Axes getting 518, 360, 250 and 190 from the double Wolves, and 620 from the Feral Mammoth. Royal Plate to Caradoc, we'll be having him in the final, and he'll be up against Void. I know, the chariot charge was so awesome, and it hit down the flanks so nicely as well. It just sent bodies flying everywhere. So we're getting Void in. I'll send Void a message, and yeah, let's get him in. Right, so let's just advance the brackets. Well played to Void and Caradoc, who will be here in the final, playing for 250 points. And very well played to Katam and to Migsa, who made it this far as well. So let's go through both of them here. So Void actually did start in round 2, beating RTK Kafka. Then he beat Bowmore and Migsa to get into the final. And for Caradoc today, he beat Praetor in round 2, then beating a Rubber Duck of War, and then just now Katam to go into the final here up against Void. So some good wins and some good players there on both sides for them to beat as well. So good stuff. Yeah, the weather in England has been terrible. For my last couple of shifts, I was outside entirely for pretty much 31 hours straight in 2 days. With a minor sleep in the middle somewhere, and it was just wet the whole time. it was terrible. So Void will be in the final, and I believe it is Caradoc to pick and bam. It is. So there we go. Well played to everybody today, and I hope you guys enjoyed the tournament. Sorry that I'm a little bit tired and just a little bit all over the place with YouTube and my internet and stuff like that, and the game crashing. God, what day it's been. So Void Lol is yet again making another final. This dude can't be stopped. He can't be stopped. But in the final here, we will be playing on Outdoor Outskirts for map 1, and then we'll be rolling into Pillar of Bone, Sword of Torgaud, MP Alpine Ridge, and MP Blue Ridge River. There will be the 5 maps today. Isn't Raymond the normal temperature for England? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It was. That's the normal thing for. By the way, Logic, what day are you free for the games to cast? I'm not sure. I'm pretty busy at the moment. I should be free. Just send me a message, CJ. Send me a message and I'll see if I can fit some games here and there. Maybe in the next couple of days. Just send me a couple of messages and we'll see if we can fit some games. If anybody wants to play some games against me, maybe practice up against, if you want to practice up against certain factions. I play Greenskins, Dowie, and I don't know, the next two is pretty a mix. Maybe Empire and Wood Elves. They're generally my remit, if anybody wants to practice against those. But definitely a Dowie and Greenskins for me. Alright, so it's looking at me Greenskin, Ban, VC, and LM. So we'll Alright, so one's going to go Vampirates. It's a pretty good ban. It's a pretty good counter pick here up against Greenskins. And I really like the VC and LM bans here from Caradoc. I think they're the perfect picks here up against Greenskins. Yeah, the other one obviously being Greenskins itself. Do you know what? Friday was super windy. It got to the point at work where I was literally leaning forward full body weight. I'm not like a light dude, right? So I'm leaning forward and I can fully lean into the wind. It is so windy. Like, it was like a miniature workout just getting around work. So it should be pretty easy. It should be pretty interesting for Outdoor Outskirts. I think sky builds do generally quite well here. There's not too many trees. There is one side that has a lot of trees that you can utilize. You can see a little bit here on the mini map. So you can see here there are some trees. I don't know if you guys can see. You can see my mouse. So you can see there are some trees down here on the bottom. It's pretty open at the top, and in the middle you do with these dark areas where you will see some terrain differences. So usually artillery struggles on this map a little bit. But you can get some really nice plays on this map. You can get some really nice plays. Greenskins, are they particularly nerfed on this map? Not really. But you're probably gonna see lots of bats with handguns for sure. You're definitely gonna see a bat build here from Void with some bombers and some chaff here with Noculus with the double scab scrape coming out. You're gonna have the double crowns with the gunnery whites on the top for sure. It's probably what you expect here. And if you're the Greenskins, you're probably going to be seeing one of two things. You'll either be seeing a River Troll Hag, or you'll be seeing more than likely a Orc Shaman. He'll be having Fist of Gork for that magic damage. Just to help deal with Sirens, because Sirens are certainly a problem. Especially for Greenskins. Magic damage is not very prevalent for them. This is what I would say is slightly Greenskin favoured, but it could go either way. I've got some nice builds for Greenskins that do pretty well here, but I know there are some people that are probably more practiced in this matchup than I am. Sorry, you are correct, Flex. Sorry, you are correct. Thorgrim is what I meant. The High King Thorgrim, not Grombrindal. Yeah, I actually think a Naked Ungrim's actually pretty competitive. 1200 for him as the Slayer King. I think it's actually pretty competitive. Damn, dude. What'd you do for work, Benj? That's a lot of hours. Sounds like my kind of shift. Alright, looks like Void's ready, and then we'll be hopping in this with Caradoc. Guys, we're going into the final hill. It'll be game 1. For anybody that has joined. For anybody that is enjoying this content, do smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And if you are new here, maybe think about subscribing. If you are enjoying all the content on the channel, I am on the road to 1,000, of course. So big push from me for the new game. That's my challenge. So I'm hoping to get there. So the big points going up here. So 250 points for the winner, 200 points for second. So there's still lots of points going here for both players. I can't remember. I can probably double check now. I don't know if Caradoc did play last week. Let me check. So week 1, did we have Caradoc playing? It doesn't look like he was playing. We had a lot of players in week 1. So it's the final. Evenstar played up against Bruce and Evenstar won 3-2. Ducky got into the semi-finals with Bowmore. Rusky, Mixer, RTK Kafka, and Defiance got through to the quarters. So lots of good stuff from those guys. So it's like Caradoc or Void wasn't playing last week. So there's going to be lots of points on the board here for these guys for sure. Electrician pays good here. Ah, fair enough. Where's here? Where are you from, Venge? Alright, let's just see this thing. Everything okay, Caradoc. Alberta. Oh, you're from Canada. Nice, dude. Nice. It's Alberta's the capital, right? Or like the main state? I think everybody thinks it's Vancouver, but I think it's actually Alberta, isn't it? Could be wrong. Ah, it's just building. Cool. So yeah, what are you guys expecting from the new content to come forward? So we obviously have one more DLC before the end of Warhammer 2. What are you guys expecting? What do you think is going to come? How do you think it's going to affect the game? What do you think we're expecting from all of this? Do you think it's going to be beastmen? Do you think it's going to be Norska? Do you think it's going to be what Warhammer 2 faction? Do you think it's still going to be Dark Elves? Do you think we're maybe go on the lines of Tomb Kings, or do you think you'll see something from Vampirates? Could it be Lizardmen? Is it one of the main 4 factions? What do you guys think? What are we all thinking? So both are ready? Alrighty, so As you can see, this is something I always like to go over this map. You've got lots of terrain here on both sides. This bit artillery can get a little bit scuffed sometimes, and over here you've also got this nice thick dense trees on the left hand or right hand flank, depending on what side you start. You also got this really nice sort of idol here, I guess you'd call it. It's a nice pile of rocks. We saw Void Lols here play with his Queen Bess behind when playing up against the Dowie. Had it in here shooting over the top and protect that up against the cannons. And yeah, it can have a big effect on a map like this. It's quite a wide map and a little bit naked over here on the left, but you have trees that you can utilise left, right and centre. And you have other things like the houses here in the pocket that you can utilise to your advantage. And yeah, it makes quite the fun map. I think that DLC will nerf beastmen and dark. Please no. Please no. People are saying that we're going to get Undead Faction DLC. We don't know which one. I'd like to see, I don't know what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Beastmen get some more options, and Norska. How you doing, Courtney? Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you here. Yeah, I'd like to see some more units come in from both of those sides, and really help like bolster the roster. Like they're both so naked. Like you've only got 2 legendary lords from for Norska. It's just so empty. How you doing, Christopher? Nice to see you on the channel. There are lots of units you can bring in for Dark Elves, for sure. There are lots in lore you can bring, and I think they could do with the buff. I think they need either like a faction-wide remake, like the Dowie had, where they had some unit changes, some ideal changes, and some point reductions and increases depending on those changes as well. Yeah, I think the other thing as well, like what Dark Elves were good against, everything else. Where are we at in the tournament? We are in the finals, first game of the finals with Caradoc up against Void Lols. Let's quickly hop into it. So we have some deck droppers as well as some handguns here for the deck droppers as well. So you can see 5 bats here, so you're going to see some deck droppers as well as looks like 3 units of guns for the handguns. They do have a massive 130 range and that a 38 armor piercing weapon, missile strength. The bombers here in the back. Looks like 3 units with the double units of the pole arms. We're going to see a front line, so it's like over in the corner. We do actually have Count Noculus with a mortar and the double gunnery white. Infantry here as well, so it's like we are going to have a couple of units of zombie pirate deckhand mobs. I think what we could expect here is maybe the mortar and behind. The mortar will fight over the house, you can utilise it there for a bit of defence. The Greenskins are going to see lots of skirmish cavalry, so we're going to be seeing some Goblin Warfighter archers with some Spider Riders. Are we going to see the ROR though is the question. Looks like there's going to be no ROR from the Goblin Warfighters and no ROR from the Goblin... Oh, we do have the ROR here, so we do have the ROR, the Death Creepers. If anybody that is casting, you can see here the little purple gem at the top, that means it is the ROR. So the ROR will be having their regen, so I really like them here. They have regeneration and stalk. So that's really nice for the Death Creepers. We do have some Savage Orc Arrow Boys in the back, and this is something I really like. I like the Arrow Boys. It's the mass Daka line is very good. We have Gron the Paunch, pretty naked, just looks like a just lucky banner. We'll also be having some Orc Boys in the back with some Biggins and some Orc Biggins. Lots of Biggins here in the back with some Orc Boys. So we have 1 Doom Diver, 2 Doom Diver Catapults, as well as the Orc Shaman with the Gaze. I can't actually remember what this is called for the Greenskins, don't see it too often. So the Gaze and Mork coming in, so a nice magic missile there for him. You're not going to see the Rusty Arrows today, or you're not going to see the 8-peak Loonies either. I think they're 2 nice units you can always bring into almost any faction, and they will any faction match up and they'll do pretty well. Should be interesting to see how this is going to be utilised. Good luck, have fun from Void. Nice to see him being... you know, it's nice to see the fair play between the 2 of them and both being kind to each other, saying good luck and have fun. I always like that. I always like to see sportsmanship between both sides. So it should be interesting. Can the massive skirmish cavalry corps deal with the bats in the sky? Maybe. Maybe. The Death Grievers is going to be busy. So very interesting, we're not going to see the ROR Wolf Riders as well. Very good armor piercing. Very good at dealing with Noculus. And using that terrain already taken effect, the first missile there did actually hit the floor and not go entirely for the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. As you can see, they are going to be dropping back here, and as long as those guys are going to be shooting, the mortars coming in, just missing there. Some good mobility here from Carrot Doc. But as you can see, oh, looks like we're going to have the double Orc Shaman. So this one he's going to have Brainbuster and Edbutt as well. But you're not going to be seeing the double scroller shielding. I really like the double scroller shielding. It's very good value for money. Very good value. So they are going to be shooting here into the sky. You need to get these triple over and help deal with the deck droppers. Keep them moving as much as possible, so you are going to use some Forest Goblin Spiders already. Just move the bombers over, and they've got some nice speed of 80. They should be able to chase off quite nicely. You really need the poison here from the Forest Goblin Spider Riders to slow them down and stop them from chasing off the Spider Riders. You lose your skirmish cavalry, you're in big trouble. So it's like they have managed to poison down to 61 speed. So the 78 should be able to get away. As you can see, already struggling here, well, maybe due to artillery. They have very low leadership. So artillery currently losing, damage sustained, under fire. All these negative leaderships. I think Goblin Wolf Riders have a very low leadership. They're at 38. So something to take into consideration. And it counts as artillery fire here from Canoculus as well. So it's something important. So very good work there from Carlock. He is going to be able to get his second unit of Goblin Forest Spider Riders in this triple core here back. And they are now going to be shooting and getting the advantage here in the sky up against the deck droppers. And that's what's really important. You need to dominate the sky. If you shut down these bats, it's going to get very, very difficult. Good luck, have fun here from Calder, just coming in there a little bit laggy, but very nice sportsmanship from him. As you can see here, the gunner right is going to be nice and close. If we do get a Scab Scrape here, if they do stop to shoot into combat, we do see a Scab Scrape, could be very nice. And that's why I like the ROR Goblin Wolf Riders. They're very good at dealing with the gunnery whites for sure. And if you partner them up alongside the Rusty Arrows, given that negative there to armor due to armor sundering, it could be a nice partnership. Nice, Christopher. I'm glad you're happy to be here, man. It's really nice to have so many new people coming onto the channel. As you can see, still going to be skirmishing up against each other, and this is just going to be slowly figuring each other out here. Who can really get the mobility advantage? As you can see, it's really going to be starting to pull the Greenskins out. And I like the fact that Savage Cowboys are coming forward. They're going to really try and help here up against the bats, and he does need to start utilising his units of the artillery pieces. So in the back we do have the double Doom Diver catapults. If we can get them in and then start shooting here up against the bombers and also start shutting down the mortar teams, get some good damage value. Only 3 kills for the mortars. They would have been targeting down here for the majority. What's going on here? So it's going to be a Spirit Legion. No, Lucky Banner's going down. So Wrathstorm went down there up against Grom the Paunch. And the Gunnery Whites will be coming in behind. Gunnery White shots here into the backside of Grom the Paunch could be quite tasty. These boys are going to be very good at dealing up against Grom the Paunch. Grom the Paunch does have that regen, so you do need to get him involved as much as possible. He's the sort of guy that can really rack up some good damage value for you and, you know, get that 3, 4, 5,000 damage value if you put the work in. As you can see here, you're going to have to play a lot more defensive now from Void Lulls. And I think this could be starting towards being a little bit difficult for him. I like the build, but the problem is I really like the Greenskin build. You know you're going to be going defensive with all the bats, etc. And these double Doom Divers do start getting involved and really start whacking. It's going to be very dangerous. You've only got 55 range here from the bombers, and they're going to be getting shot here by the Golden Wolf Rider archers. If they go down, oh look at this! Fantastic Scab Scrape coming in there up against these chivalrous skirmishers. You will not get much damage value there, but the importance of that is unsaid. Like, it's so good to get rid of this, the cheap skirmish cavalry here from the Greenskins. These 3 together is what pretty much makes VC so powerful. They're just so good together. And the problem is if you lose your skirmish cavalry, it's a massive problem here. Because then obviously you have to deal with the deck droppers. But you still have some more arrows in the back. You have the Savage Orcs, they're going to be coming forward and shooting the bombers. They're also going to be shooting the weapon teams here from the mortars. So it's going to start getting a little bit touchy here if you are the VP player. In the back here, Noculus is going to be shooting down and getting 55 kills for himself, doing some good damage value. And as you can see, taking lots of damage value for himself as well. Got to be a little bit careful there. Maybe a couple of overcasts as well might be causing some self-damage. But as you can see here, healing going down. Invocation and Heck will be healing up against the big boys in the sky as well. So a nice invocation going down. Another rat storm from the sky as well. Really like this. Looks really cool. And look at that. Good damage running up against Grom. Grom needs to get away now. Grom needs to go away, heal, recollect his thoughts, and come back with the OP self he really is. But coming in here, we do see the Orc boys. They will be coming forward, and if you do pop wire, Orc boys can actually be really destructive. So they get that plus 24 melee attack, the increased base weapon damage, and also armor piercing, meaning they can punch way above their weight. Way above it. But we do have fear from the Gunnery Whites. No terror, thank God. But we do have that fear, so it can be very good hero up against the Greenskins, as they have generally low leadership. They are going to be shooting up against this guy, that the ammunition will be coming a little bit low here from the Greenskins. They have to be a little bit careful. You do have ammo regeneration here, thanks to the Gunnery Whites, for all sorts of handguns in the sky, as they do have like more powder, etc. With the bucket here, oh, I missed a scab scrape again now, so it looks like it was a scab scrape going through the middle of the Orc boys. Fist of Gork down on them as well for the increased melee attack and melee defense. And so you go into the 52 melee attack, and they're going to really try and punch through the Gunnery White. As you can see here, we've got the Orc Biggins coming in as well, trying to get the bonus of large and anti-large to really slay through this Gunnery White. The Gunnery White should hold, he has 120 armor, not too much armor hitting here for the big boys. Sorry, they're not bonus first large, so they're only bonus first large, they're not actually anti-large, but they are bigger and harder. So the bigger the target, the more they want to punch through it. But Noculus is taking a tremendous amount of damage value. In the back, we do actually see the deck droppers doing some, trying to get some damage value on top of the Doom Diver catapults. And Doom Divers are actually really good up against Noculus. They're a very good counter, and actually they shoot pretty effectively up against him. Look at these Doom Divers, really getting some good damage value up against him. And Noculus is going to have to retreat. He is going to be wavering. If he gets doing the negative here, he could go down relatively quickly. Bombers in the back are going to be struggling. Balance of power pushing here into the Greenskin favour with Caradoc, but it's still not out of the reach here for Void. If we know anything about Void, this guy is phenomenally well skilled. And Caradoc just needs to protect Grom. Grom's very low. You lose Grom and you're in serious trouble. As you can see, the Bombers in the front line, they're going to be just about holding on. It's just a negative 49 leadership, so they are crumbling and they have gone. So the Bombers are very important in this match. They're very good at helping dealing with the Greenskin front line. Why going off now? Is it a little bit late? Not really too sure. But I think a while a little bit earlier on would have been quite nice. You probably could have prepared yourself for a second while there as well. Obviously, if you used the while earlier, you can obtain those points again much quicker. In the later stages, you're not really going to be recuperating those points back to get a second while, because a lot of the points or the deaths gained are going to be gone already. And there's certain units of Savage Orc boys in the middle are going to be getting broken here by the fear and the AP from the pole arms, but they're really going to push off relatively quickly. Because the Death Creepers will be fighting, and they have that regen, so you don't mind them being in melee combat as well. They'll be able to go away and get that big regeneration. The Bombers down to 5 models, and the negative 43 leadership, so they'll be dying relatively quickly. The Mortars are still online, 31 kills from them, and Noculus still arcing Condor, having to heal himself as well. All the winter magic going on him at the moment, meaning the rest of the army here is going to be struggling. And in the pocket, we will be seeing the Orc boys with the bonus first large and the bigger and Ardor just smashing straight up against the Gunnery White here. A nice Fisted Gork here, and you will be saying bye-bye here to this Gunnery White. You can see the Orc Shaman in the pocket will be helping with that leadership up against the Orc Biggins, but they are so damaged that the fear alone from the Gunnery White is enough to be pushing them off the edge of the battlefield. As you can see, very scary if you've gone the porch. He needs to retreat. He cannot be getting shot here by the triple deck droppers. He has broken. The Greenskins are now really struggling on that leadership. Is this actually going to be a victory for the VC? This could be very interesting. I think it could be. I think the Greenskins might have lost this. It's, oh my god, it's been a mass shatter. No way. That was insane. Brilliant stuff there from Void. I really thought Greenskins had that. That was interesting. I think Grom just got far too low on the balance of power. For the balance of power there, he got hit really, really hard. But well played, well played. Let's have a look. Spider Riders 550, 335, 560, and 300. 516 and 585 here for the Golden Warfighter Archers. 2,000 damage value for the Doom Divers, and 1,680. I think what we needed to do there, once you got Noculus so low, you needed to take him out. He needed to be a priority, I think. But as you can see, with the Archers 400, 370, 280 and 340 from the Savage Orc Arrow Boys, 400 and 750 from the Orc Beings, and 230 and what's that? 500 and 130 from the Gobbos. So yeah, pretty good stuff. The as you can see, Doomdiver Catapults, I really like them here in this matchup. Really like them. But 1,700 for Noculus, 780 and 870 from the Gunnery Whites. As you can see, when they did start losing that skirmish here up against the Spider Riders, you could really get the benefit from the deck droppers. So 500, 650, 540, 630 and 600 here from the deck droppers, and 670 from the mortar teams, 400, 570 and 307 from the bombers, and the front line did okay with a couple of hundred each. Yeah, not too bad. Well played from Void. Really good stuff. I thought he'd lost that, I'll be honest. Yeah, he tanked 3.6k damage value. Very interesting stuff. So let me just get rid of this. Nope, I'm in a live stream, buddy. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, I think triple Doomdiver, there's absolutely no problem with that either. So what do you think about the Greenskin build? Very different build there from Caradoc. Like it quite a lot, actually. I actually took a similar build up against... who did I play against? I was doing some practicing against Captellus, that was it. Practicing against Captellus, and I brought a pretty similar armor. But I actually went triple Doomdivers and sniped Noculus with it. Yeah, it was. Yeah. As I was saying there throughout the battle, that although it looks a little bit boring there in that middle stage, that's what's really important. Can the VC player outplay the Spider Rider play from the Greenskins? That's why I'm a little bit surprised. Like the Savage Orc boys needed to come forward a little bit earlier and help out against those bats in the sky. I think it was a little bit defensive in the beginning, and you needed to have the Doomdiver shooting into Noculus as much as possible. But I think from the majority, they got some good. Void to pick and ban. So we know Void very well. He likes his VC. He likes his Greenskins. He's a good Bretonnian player as well. He likes his Wood Elves. Map is Pillar of Bone. That's true, Venge. That's very true. That's very true. How do Wood Elves do with their skirmish cavalry up against the Greenskins? Do they do pretty well? I know they're pretty glass cannon is the only problem. They don't have much armor, so they get hit pretty hard. Well, I wonder how they do up against it. Aha! Enter the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Rubber Duck of War. So, Mr. Rubber Duck of War, do share with us. I saw that Sir Caradoc himself beat you in the quarterfinals. What happened? Oh, that quack emoji won't be working here, buddy, I'm afraid. You won't be seeing any ducks here today. So for those who don't know, a big Rubber Duck of War, he is a YouTuber as well, so go check him out here on YouTube. And he's a very, very nice dude. Makes some really, really awesome content. And if you're not subscribed to him, oh, that's a grudging. You know what to subscribe to him. He used Dark Elf magic. That OP son of a bee, man. That OP son of a bee. I knew it. I knew he was a sweaty Dark Elf main. Classic. Classic. Was that against your lizardmen, or did he not let you play your lizardmen? Alrighty, so let's hop in here. So, Wood Elves ban Brett and High Elves. I think two very good bans, for sure. We know Greenskins is off the table here for Caradog, so what's he going to bring? Difficult one. Difficult one for sure. As I said, we think Dark Elves struggle here. You could see Dowie. I think Dowie's a good counter. What's the score? The score is actually 1-0 to Void. I was actually just saying to the chat here, I'm working on my, I think I finished off my, I'm going to be having tags up here so you can put names and scores. I think I finished him. I think I finished it. Just need to test it out at some point. I'll do like a private stream and I'll test it out, see if it works well. Oh, Empire. Okay, I don't mind the Empire matchup. Empire can do pretty well. I would have liked to see Dowie. I would like to see Dowie. That's a grudging. And I won't forget this Caradoc. I won't forget it. The grumbles were calling, and you still didn't pick them. I mean, it's a lot more. It's a lot harder matchup now for the Dowie. But I still think if you bring the right Dowie build, you can do quite well. Hey, Dr. Jellyfish, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well this evening. How did your matches go? Yeah, I was meaning to ask you, Parkerilla, what's your main factions as well? Also, do you have more viewers? You have more viewers than Vagnos. Oh, do I? Oh, okay. That wasn't planned. I actually thought I thought Valkyros was doing it yesterday. I thought Valkyros was doing his Koth yesterday. Okay. I planned to do it today, so I thought he was doing it on Saturday. That's a shame. How did his King of the Hill go? How's it going? Who won? I actually haven't seen who's won. Human Boy hasn't told me yet. Using it today, yeah. Nice to see you back, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't know. There's really a nasty wood elf build that I'm struggling to figure out how to counter as Dowie without being an... Logic, you have more subs than Turin. Alright, so looks like they're both ready. So we'll hop straight into it. Oh, they're playing on the last match. Fantastic. I mean, Papa Palpatine, obviously, maybe a little bit biased on me, but he's a really, really good player. And so is Riffle Shuffle. He's fantastic. He's done lots of good stuff. I'm refining my factions. Warriors of Chaos, Beastmen, Dark Elves, Empire, and Dowie. Did you just throw Dowie at the end to make me happy, Parker? You don't have to tell me that you... yeah, if you don't like Dowie, you don't like Dowie. It's okay. But Warriors of Chaos is a good first pick faction. But obviously you've got Beastmen, Dark Elves, and Dowie, which... They're probably lower tier factions as well, but they're all cool factions. But I like Warriors of Chaos. Yeah, I like those picks. I like those picks. They've got some good matchups, all of them, and they've got some bad ones as well. But they're pretty fun. Pretty fun. Who's your one faction, Parker? Who's that one faction for you? So do we know who else made? So I know Grombrindle went through with Rubber Duck Wars 1. On my one, we had Hadri's, and then we had Void Lols in for the final as well. And so it looks like it's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be Papa Palpatine or Riffle Shuffle. That'd be pretty cool for the final. And Dowie was where I started off in Warhammer. Okay. I mean, if you ever want to practice some Dowie, Parker, send me a message. We can do some Dowie practice for sure. I'm always up for playing the Dowie. You know me. I actually played against Mixer in the Koth for Rubber Duck War, and Mixer insta-banned my Dowie. He wouldn't let me play them. He just wouldn't let me play it. He's like, nope, you're not playing the Dowie. Yes, CJ, I'll be going up today, mate. I'll be putting up the sub-faction tournament today, and I'll be putting up the 2v2. So for those that are just here now, 2v2 tournament next week, sub-faction tournament next week, and BattleMania, and maybe and then the following week we'll be doing also. I should have the rules fully up next week with for the what's it called? So Commanders tournament. So I'll have all the rules up for the So Commanders tournament. So you guys should be able to get some good stuff ready for that. So we're going to have the Triple Huntsman in the front line. Very good here in this matchup. Bonus for large, anti-large, and the good Stalk. We are obviously going to have the Silver Bullets for that magic damage. Very good. Lots of physical damage here for those, physical resistance for those trees. Nice the Blazing Sun for that fire damage, and the Empire Knights as well. Very good at pinning in and making sure you get some good damage value. We have the double Flagellants, as well as the Sigma Suns for the nice unbreakable front line, and lots of Spearmen with shields. So there's like 5 units of those. So we've got the double Knights, the Blazing Sun, and the double Empire Knights. So lots of cavalry here, lots of cavalry. We are going to have Marcus Wolfheart for those nets, and of course the Bright Wizard. If you come with Marcus Wolfheart, it means you don't really need a light wizard, so you can save a little bit of spare change there. But, ooh, okay, I won't say anything, just in case, but this is a nice play. I like this. We have some Dryads in the back here. Very, very nice stuff. We also have Durthu. So we're going to have a very happy Flex Prime here today. This is his favourite lord here. We are going to have the Sword of Death, Wild Heart, Frenzy, and other good bits and bobs with that good Terror. We'll be having the Branch Wraith, who has Earthblood, Call of the Woods, and a Pendulum, with, of course, the Scroll of Shielding. Some more Dryads. No ROR Dryads, I don't think. Nope. But we have some Glade Riders, Hagbane Tips, and some great Stag Knights. I think these are absolutely gorgeous units. Some of the best looking cavalry in the game. Look at these things. They're so well designed. Everything came out of their DLC from the sisters. It just looks brilliant. It looks absolutely fun. Whoever was on that for the designing team for this, it just looks so awesome. Look at them. They're absolutely fantastic. I think elves in general have some of the best designs in the game. I'm a little bit sad because people like Empire, which I kind of like as a faction, look kind of... They're not particularly great. But Hagbane Tips as well for the magic damage, as well as the nice poison. 94 speed as well for the Wood Elves, the fastest cavalry in the game. So that's good stuff. On average, that is. Apologies. But as you can see here, it looks like very unaware. Caradoc is going to expect quite the frontal push, and little does he know, his poor little cavalry is it's going to be a very quick flip around here. And as you can see, a sneaky unit in the side. Hagbane's going to be shooting into the backside of the Empire Knights, but these knights here, so the Glade Rider Spears, will be able to come through to the back when these huntsmen do move, and a very nice rotation. And this is the problem, as you can see, you getting all this cross. Look at this, brilliant! This is exactly what he was expecting. Sword of Thief going down for that massive damage there. And this is the problem. What he's done is he's grabbed all of his units and just flipped them round. And what happens is that they do this massive cross mesh. This massive cross mesh problem, and unfortunately here Caradoc was not expecting this. What you need to individually do is you can't unfortunately do what he did. As you can see, it's just going to be everywhere now. But you are going to have Spearmen up against Durthu, and Spearmen up against the Dryads. Dryads obviously connecting this infantry okay there. Branch away from the pocket by against the Knights of the realm of the villain. You're of course going to be having Highbane chips shooting into the flanks here, up against the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Knights of the Blazing Sun doing some good damage, and Burning Head here in the pocket. Good work there up against the Great Stag Knights and Shrieks. As you can see here, the Great Stag Knights have had some lots of damage value up against them. Huntsmen in the back aren't going to be well protected. These Dryads are going to come through nice and quickly. We do have Burning Head and the Flaming Sword of Ruin. If we get Flaming Sword of Ruin here on these boys, get that fire damage, can do some really good stuff up against the Dryads. But the Highbane tips are going to get in the back and do some good damage up against these Silver Bullets. Silver Bullets really need to challenge Durthu, and you need to be having Marcus Wolfheart almost the entirety of this battle shooting up against him. You will have a fire weakness, so that imbued fire damage thanks to Flaming Sword of Ruin will be very good for Marcus Wolfheart. And got some good stuff there. One straight in the pocket. It's going to be just cleaving apart these Flagellants, and Durthu coming through with that nice terror. Not too much into the psychology here for the Empire. Empire at the back have been pushed off with the using the Glade Riders Highbane tips up against the Huntsman. There'll be one Huntsman down, two in the pocket, one's very close to breaking, and the Silver Bullets as well are going to be struggling. So they're going to be trying to shoot here up against the Glade Riders Highbane tips. But Stag's going to come through for that very, very nice charge. Nope, looks like they're going to back off. Nope, they don't have anything to do with these nice blazing stars. The nice blazing stars get the charge. That 78 charge bonus is absolutely no joke. Terrified units of Huntsmen. No, they're not terrified, but oh, what is this going to be? Is this going to be a Burning Head? Oh, Burning Head going in the pocket. An interesting Burning Head. Most of that going over his own Spearman. Not sure what else that was there for, but something unfortunate there. Over here. Very nice Benjamin here going up against the Empire Knights. But yet again, some more friendly fire up against the Dryads. This is a bit of a melee mess here, but as you can see, starting to clear out a little bit now. Balance of power will be pushing into Void's favour with the Wood Elves. Net going down here in the pocket though. So net of the Great Stag Knights as well as the Dryads, meaning you can start getting some units in here to help clean up. But even with that net, there's not really too much you can do really. Sword of Days going down again, negative armor with that damage over time. So it means the Great Stag Knights can come through and do some good damage value here, bringing some entities in the pocket. But most of it here not having too much armor. Great Stag Knights are going to be pushing onto Marcus Wolfheart. Marcus Wolfheart, of course, being on foot, meaning he's going to really struggle here. Do they have fear? I believe they have fear as well, so they're going to be very good. Yeah, they do have fear and physical assistance. As you can see, just pushing Marcus Wolfheart over, making it very difficult with him. And Caradoc will be dropping here. Wow, what a build from Void, what a build. 2,100 damage value for Durthu, that massive cross mesh, and also using the Sword of Dave there. Some fantastic aware knowledge here from Void. 117 kills, 1.2k damage value, 400, 370, 500, 430 and 680 from the Dryads, all paying for themselves pretty much for the majority. And you can see Glade Rider Spears for 8 kills. I'm not sure what happened with those, but 1.16 here for the Great Stag Knights and 770 for the second unit, and the Fenrir getting 980. Double Hadbane getting 650 and 560. 28 kills and 211 damage value. You needed to have Flaming Sword of Ruin and try and see if you can shut down either the Branch Wraith or Durthu. And looks like 240 damage value for the Bright Wizard, and the Spearman getting some okay damage value, nothing too much here. 560 for 390, nothing too much. For Legend 600, 470 for the Sigma Suns, 520 for the second unit. And here the huntsman really got compromised, as well as the silver bullets. These boys should have got lots of damage value, looking somewhere near 1,000 each, but as you can see, coming in at under 500 for all, so it's a bit of a shame. 460 here for the Empire Knights, and 430, 970, and 1,090 here for the Knights of the Blazing Sun. So we're going to be going on to Sword of Torgald. Let's pop that in here. GG's indeed. So Brett, Ban, Dwarf, and Skaven. I like the Dwarf ban, but I've never seen Void play Dwarfs. Skaven's pretty good ban as well. What can you see in this matchup? Trying to think. So he hasn't used Greenskins yet. Greenskins can do pretty well up against Bretonnia. I like Greenskins into Bretonnia particularly. I'm not sure everybody does, but Void putting on a clinic. Yeah, this is true. It's true. Now that was a brilliant game from Void. That was excellent stuff. If the control group is locked, yeah. So when he tried to rotate there, what happened is they actually crossed instead of just one. Instead of some dropping and some coming forward, it actually crossed over each other. I forgot that Grombrindle plays Dowie in the blind pick. Oh right, yeah. Let's catch up with you guys. So. Tanky Chaos build, my current main is still poor level. That's no problem, dude. That's no problem, Parker Alert. If you ever want to play some games against me, buddy, if you want to, like, you know, just get some more improvement out there and play a couple of more games, then yeah, feel free. Just send me a message on Discord and we can play some games. Then the problem for me is, I would say I know the game relatively well. I don't practice enough. Shave off the beards. Legion. That's a very quick way to get your name in the Damazcron. And you don't want that, buddy. You don't want that. You don't want it. You don't want it. I forgot that Grombrindle plays Dowie. Yeah, well, I mean, his name Grombrindle. Yeah, but I would say pretty much. I think it's only me and Grombrindle that main Dowie in the community. I think. I can't think of any others that actually main Dowie. I can't think of any. I love that bench. You forgot that Grombrindle played Dowie. I was distracted. I knew you'd like that flex. I knew you'd like it. Wasn't there a button that made unit turn around? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've just gone through that. Exact same way. Yeah, Krablin's a very good player. Krablin's been on the quite a few things. Yo, what's up, Rusky Jim? How you doing, brother? How you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well. Make Stunties march more corpses to feed our armies. Listen, you're in my book now. You're in my book, Legion. You better watch out. You better watch out. The Stunties are coming. The Stunties are coming, and they're gonna nab your ankles. They're gonna nab your undead ankles. You watch it. Your little VC aren't ready. They aren't ready. So Void's gonna go beastmen, and he looks like you can't. Yeah, so if you do go the sub-faction, you do have to name the sub-faction. Those little stunties. Okay, so we are going to get the Warherd of Chaos here. I think they're called the Warherd of Chaos, I believe. in from Void, which means he is going to sub-faction. So normally in the tournament, I'm not going to explain it here because he's just said he is, but you normally, if you are going to play sub-faction, you do have to announce it. No, I know. It's just, don't forget, we host the sub-faction tournament on here, Legion, so I'm pretty aware. Just for the rules, you have to say, you know, just because it's fair. Because Caradoc might not know, so if he doesn't know, there isn't. Like, quite a lot of players in the community don't know that there's some advantage. So, like if we take Followers of Nagash, for example, some people don't realise that they get certain units, for example. So, I think it's just fair that you announce it. So, that's just the reason. The more experienced players will know that it offers no benefit. Logic recently found out that the Law Cetra actually kills Kolek and takes his head to prove Archon how strong he is. Oh, really? No way. How does Cetra kill him? Yeah, if it's end times, I'm kind of like the way yeah, no, you're right, Legion. It doesn't really matter. You're true. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't. But you know what I try to do when I'm casting is I try and give the gold standard so that people know. You know, like you and I, and maybe a few others that should know, and then there'll be some that are newer to the game, just so they understand that that's how it should be done. Why is Cetra so powerful in lore? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I know Cetra doesn't serve, but how's he so powerful? I mean, it's true. I mean, Cetra was perishable for a short while on top of his chariot. He was perishable. It was breakable as well for a short while. That was quite funny. That was hilarious, actually. It was hilarious to watch him breaking and crumbling off the edge of the map. That was so fun. So everybody here, like, obviously got lots of guys who are into Warhammer. Who's your favourite character in lore? Who's your favourite character? Or what's your favourite reading piece? Like, what's your favourite thing to read from lore? Because I know that Rusky's really into his lore, and it seems like most of you guys have some good stuff that you're reading. I'm trying to read a lot more at the moment. I'm reading Grudgebearer. So I borrowed this from Ducky. So just been reading this every now and then when I can, you know, on the bus or whatever, etc. Just been reading it here and there. Really enjoying it, actually. It's all about Legion's favourite stunties. He fought Kodak for a few days to entertain himself and then finished him off. He's just a little measly skeleton, you know. Alright, Caradoc is ready. Just going to be waiting for Mr. Void. Katam, how you doing, buddy? Go check affiliates. I've heard from who did I hear from? I heard from Turin. Turin was saying that actually they're his favourite books, actually. From lore, vampires, in my opinion, are the coolest. Von Carstein Sage is one of the good ones. Logic. Okay, cool, Rusky. I'll investigate that. My favourite stunty is a dead stunty. VC and TK masterpiece. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I've been wanting to read the. I've been really wanting to read Gotrek and Felix. Really wanted to read them. It was a recommendation from Mr. Torino himself. So we're playing on Solar Torgald, a nice, huge map here. And minimal treeage and a massive trench in the middle with some big changes in terrain. So it should be interesting. Tyrion and Teclis is a fun read also. Do you know what I've heard's a fun read is oh, now you're going to ask me. I forgot his name. Shadow King. The Shadow King is apparently a really fun read. Apparently it's really dark as well, but apparently he's a really good read. Apparently it's really good. I think Malekith like slaughters like half his family, if not all of it, I think. And like sacrifices them, I think, or something really dark. The dude made an empire against everything with the Bronze Age weapons, while Sigmar needed dwarf tech. Listen, the dwarf's at the center of everything. Those stunties know what's going on. Alright, so looks like we are in with Void. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start over here with Bretonnia. We will be having the Mounted Yeoman Archers and the RR, the Wardens of Montfront. They will be having the good poison. I have to really look at these guys too up close. So they're going to have a slightly lightly coloured steed. They do look good with their silver armour as well. So 30 armour, as we can see here, they will be having increased leadership. Their leadership is actually pretty low, but I guess they are pretty much peasants. But they will be having that poison and that nice 125 range. We'll be having some more Mounted German archers, so it's like 3 in total. We'll also be having some Knights of the Round for the bonus for Large and the Grail Knights. So good stuff there for that shock cavalry, bonus for Large, anti-large, immune to psychology, as well as the perfect vigor and the 20% physical resistance. We'll be having the Damsel of Life coming with the Earthblood and Awakening of the Woods, as well as Life Bloom and the Scroll of Shielding. We have the big boy King Leon Kerr in the sky, for sure he'll be coming with all of his abilities. So he'll be having, of course, the Ladies Champion, as well as Foe Seeker, Lion Shield, and the Sword of Corone. So look, he's not going to have his map-wide effect either. So interesting stuff. Some more Knights of the Realm and Grail Knights. So some quite expensive boys here today, with of course those sweaty peasants in the front line. So a few sweaty peasants with some spearmen and those men-at-arms here at the back to just support that infantry alongside the arrows, which are pox today. So a couple of pox arrows here. No fire arrows, and we are going to be having Morka the Shadowgate. We'll be having some Centaurs with throwing axes here in the middle. Looks like 2 units of those, and some some Razor Gore herds in the back. So these guys are very good here for the armor piercing. They do rampage, but they have that fear. These boys aren't seen too often here on my channel, but look at the design. These guys look meaty. And yeah, I would be terrified if I saw this as well, for sure. We are going to be seeing the Ungol Spearheads with shields. And look at this. Look at this meaty boy. We are going to be having a global today. Just a naked one with, of course, his Blood Greed. And all the other good bits and bobs for him. The bonus of large, anti-large, arm piercing. And there's the Brave Shaman of Shadows. Interesting one. I don't normally see a Shadows Brave Shaman here today. But he will be on his chariot with the Jagged Dagger, Pit of Shades, Pendulum, and the Mystifying Miasma. We have some more Razor Gore herds in the back. And the Ungol Spears. And of course, Void utilising the house at the back here for some nice, good stuff. We'll be having the Eye of Morbilis for that nice range. And of course, Morga the Shadowgo for that regen. And the double Chaos Summon. So yeeting straight through the middle. That rock is going to be going after these sweaty peasants in the back. The pox ones to be specific. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to be happening here. Sorry, a little bit of a pause there. Right, so not too much skirmish cavalry. I actually really like Centaurs with throwing axes in the matchup. Very good at dealing with King Leonka. I normally bring 3 or 4, but it'd be interesting to see what you could do with 2. You have lots of arm-piercing shock cavalry from the Razor Gore herds. These monstrous beasts can really do a good damaging. There's a big rocks going into the side here, doing some good damage up against the Knights of the Realm. Killing a few models, or 3 there to be specific. And the Chaos Poison Warhounds in the forest here. As you can see, the second you weren't seeing, there's some very good waiting there from him. But as you can see, we are going to be sending in some Knights of the Realm to see if there's any more in the forest. You don't want to get caught out like you did earlier if you're a mixer. So I think here Caradoc has learnt and from that, and he will be pushing through to get and see if he can find those units there. The throwing axes are going in the sky. They're not super accurate in the sky, and Leon Kerr will be going left and right. He will be using his shield as well, so 44% magic resistance and missile resistance. There's some really, really good stuff. They're giving him 59% missile resistance. As you can see here, terrain really having an effect here in this middle pocket, especially here for the Eye of Morbilee. What will be quite nice is using his gaze to just shut down Leon Kerr, trap him there for a little short time, and then shoot him here with the throwing axes and also the Eye of Morbilee. So I'm sure the Gold Ball is going to be used as a counter here to Leon Kerr if he does land. Big slam there inside from him. But we do have the triple skirmish coming through. Where are they going to be going? So they're going to be charging, just stopping straight in front of the Ungor Spears with shields. You don't mind if you're shooting Ungor Spears, you just don't want them shooting your Razorgore herds. As you can see, you're just going to be pushing forward slightly here to give a bit of a gap between themselves and obviously the Eye of Morbilee, and also giving that room here for the Brave Shaman. Going to be struggling here a little bit. The pocket arrows are going to be under fire from that artillery fire. They are down to 48 models, and in the back we do have a very good pendulum here going into the side of the peasant bowmen. They are going to break, so really, really good stuff here. And we do have a sneaky unit of warhounds that were pushed out of the forest, and they are going to get chased by the Grail Knights. In the front line we do actually have the Grail Knights fighting alongside the peasant mobs up against the Ungor Spears. These spears, the burst large and those shields, going to be stabbing straight into the side here of the peasant mobs. As you see, a nice pin of shades coming through there. Doing some good damage value here up against the Grail Knights. Only physical resistance, don't have any magic resistance, and look at that damage value here coming up against these Grail Knights. Really, really, really good work. There's like also now some more rocks flying into the Grail Knights. Grail Knights down to half health, so really good work there in that pocket. I'm Morbilee. Where's he going to be going next? Is the question. So looks like we have the Centaurs and the Razorgores over here on the right hand side. Where is Leon Kerr? That's what matters. So they are going to be shooting in the back here up against the Centaur throwing axes, and now these boys are going to be advancing. We do have 92 speed here from them and a 94 from the Centaurs unless they're poisoned. So the ROR are very good here for that poison, and you can just slow them down quite nicely. Poison Warhounds are going to be getting involved, and it's going to be a charge, get the poison, hint in the Knights of the Realm and get them shot here. So it looks like we have the Gorball here with the Sword of Throne going down, charges in from the Razorgore herds as well for that nice armor piercing. The good counter charge here against the Knights of the Realm. And we will be using the bonus large anti-large Gorball to get some good damage here against Leon, I'm sure. We have rampage units of Razorgore herds, and we're going to be trying to pin in here up against Leon Kerr. Summon here of the Chaos Spawn in the back as well. Going to be getting some really good damage value on him. He is going to be pinned into that spot. And it's going to get really difficult for him if you're not careful. Razorgore herds as well as the Brave Shaman fighting up against the Grail Knights, and the big slam coming through from the Eye of Morbilee with that terror. Over here on the right we do have some spear herds fighting up against some Ungor herds with spears, and units of Centaurs with throwing axes will more than likely be going off the map. Shooting at the backside here, balance of power pushing into the favour of Void, but the Mountain Yeoman Archer is still going. Ammunition is getting low, unfortunately. You've got to be careful there. What can the Eye of Morbilee do? So the Eye of Morbilee probably isn't too concerned about the backline skirmish, but needs to be more concerned. Can he maybe hit up against the Damsel of Life, maybe? Get a good punch into the side of her, perhaps. Razorgore herds are nice and free, and the Centaurs as well. So see if we can start getting some of these around the flank, and maybe try and shut down some of these peasants that are running around. Damsel's nice and free at the moment. She could do with a big punch in here. But in the pocket, King Leon Kerr will be going down, I think. The Gorball with this nice pin in here should be able to do some good damage value. King Leon Kerr has broken. Overcasted Restore here from Earthgod will be going to heal up against Leon Kerr, but because he is broken, he will have to get away, which I don't think he's going to be able to until the summon does disappear. In the pocket as well, it looks like we have some more normal men-at-arms. They're going to be broken as well, just taking a truckload of damage value. It's like everything's going to have to engage here, trying to see if we can get Leon Kerr out. I don't think they're going to be able to. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for him. Big punches here coming from the Gorball as well. Leon Kerr, very lucky he's not going to shatter. I'm Morbilee's up to 86 kills, done lots of good work here. In the back line, you are going to see some Chaos Warhounds chasing off that skirmish cavalry. Balance of power now into the leadership loss. And some really, really good stuff here coming from Void Lulls. And just an absolute masterpiece of of how to pin in Leon Kerr and deal with him quite effectively. So GG's all round, well played, and 3-0 here from Void Lols, very well played to him. Well played to Caradot, getting through to the finals here today. And let's go through his units. So 615 here for the Wardens of Montfront, 665 here for the normal, and 730 for the Mountain Yeoman Archers. 212, 866, 450, and 560 for the Knights of the Realm. Backline range really didn't do much with those pox arrows, and the front line pretty much got garbaged. A couple of hundred here each, but not too much. 73 damage value for the Lion, and for the big man himself, King Leon Kerr, 930 damage value. Morga, 320, 78 kills, 1,700 from the very good stuff from the Brave Shaman. That Overcaster Pit Shades was absolutely fantastic here up against the Knights of the Realm. Up against the Grail Knights, sorry. 2,100 damage value for the Gorbel, doing some tremendous stuff up against King Leon Kerr, as well as the Ungol Spears. Not doing too much, but holding the line nonetheless. 240 and 500 damage value for the Sensical Throwing Axes. Poison Warhound, 73 kills, 380 damage value, and the race scores 300, 770, 830, and 430. You have to be very patient with the race score herds because they are very susceptible to getting rampaged. 86 kills, 1,350 damage value here for the Eye of Morbides as well. So some really, really good stuff from both players. GG's both of you. Well played today. Our victor will be Void Lols. So thank you very much for everybody that did chill out and have some good times. I hope you enjoyed it today. Apologies, of course, I am tired. I worked a lot in the last 2 days, and but hopefully next week we'll be back to. All the battles were great from you guys. It was nice to see some really, really cool stuff. Congratulations, Void. Well played. Yeah, well played indeed. And guys, very quickly before you all shoot off, if you are brand new here and you are enjoying all the content, maybe think about subscribing. It would really help me here and the channel on my grow to 1,000. And if you are liking the content, just pushing that like button really, really helps. As it really helps spread out this to other people that are on YouTube that maybe like Total War Warhammer content and maybe haven't seen me before. I will be throwing on multiple tournaments every single week going forward. I will be trying to do at least 3 tournaments a week to try and give you guys some more variety and some fun going forward with some good tournament prizes. So keep yourself and keep your eyes peeled for all of that. Coming forward to the next tournament, I should have a lot more things set up. I should have both of my banners at the top for names, as well as also having the numbers up for scores, as well as all the other bits and bobs coming forward. So I'll have Patreon for you guys to sign up to if you'd like to. I'll also be having my PayPal if you guys would like to donate. I know a few of you did say it in the last stream, so we're having that all forward. But thank you very much for tuning out with me, guys. I hope you had a good time and a good evening. Take care of yourself during these times, and I'll see you all in the next video or live stream. Take care. Thanks, Bresky. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much.